This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Damn, Earth did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
What is going on? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day for everybody, man. It's your boy Kings and Dreams back with another live day 3. Man, when I told y'all I was coming back, I told y'all, man, your boy is back, man. Today's conversation, I'm really excited to have this conversation. It's very intriguing, interesting, educational. I think that all of us, we're going to learn a lot today, right? A lot about within ourselves, the limits that we can actually push ourselves to, and really just overcoming our fears as a whole, right? And I think that that's something that we all can learn. So, you know me, I'm not too long-winded with these intros, so I'm gonna get it right into it, man. So, without further ado, I got my guest, Sheldon, the blind traveler, is on with us, man. My man Sheldon, what is going on, brother? Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Really appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you so much for inviting me to your platform. For those who don't know who I am a blind world traveler. I've been to 17 countries in the past few years, and I have a YouTube channel called Sheldon the Blind Traveller, and my channel is about just sharing my experience as a blind person traveling to different countries and showing the culture, the food, and yeah, just showing people what it's like to be traveling as a blind person. And yeah, I lost my eyesight 14 years ago in 2010. Woke up completely blind from hereditary eye disease that runs in my family called glaucoma.
Right. Okay, man. Well, thank you for that. And so I do want to start from the beginning. And moderators, if you will, please make sure that you do drop the link to Sheldon's channel, man, please, because I definitely want people to subscribe to him. And I can say before we get started, like I am in awe of the fact that you're able to travel and you can't actually see, but you have like the vision, right? So so I actually titled that. So I actually said that I said even though you're blind, you actually have the vision to actually go out into the world, man. So kudos to you. But let's
Thank
start
you.
from the beginning. Yeah. So let's start from the beginning. So let everybody know where do you reside? Where are you from?
So I'm from Toronto. Right now I'm in Toronto, Canada, and I
Okay.
was born and raised here. Yeah, born and
Okay.
raised in Toronto, Canada.
Okay. Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And so Toronto, Canada, man, let me tell you, Toronto is a beautiful city in multiple ways, man. Absolutely, man. I definitely love Canada. I have a family in Canada, man. All
Okay.
right. So yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. So from Toronto, Canada, and now let's go into the eyesight, right?
Yeah.
So about how old were you when you started to notice that you were starting to lose your eyesight? Like, was it like a rapid thing, or was it more like a slowly gradual?
So in
So explain.
2000, yeah, in 2001. Oh shit! I just dropped my phone.
You're all good. You're all good.
Hold on.
You're all good. You're all good, brother.
Hold on a second. Sorry, guys.
You're all
We're
good.
live. We're
You're all
live.
good. You're all good,
Hold
brother.
on. Okay,
You're all
hold on a
good.
sec. Tell me if you can. Hold on a second. My bad. My bad.
No worries. No worries,
How
man.
about right here?
Center it a little bit more to your right.
Okay.
To your right a little bit more.
Okay.
A little bit more.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there.
I'm gonna go back some more. How about like that?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll roll with it, man. So yeah, so I
All
was
right.
asking you
The perks
so
of being blind.
hey, man, it's all good. It's all good, man.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, guys. So I was
Listen,
diagnosed. So yeah, so I started realizing that I was losing my eye vision in 2001. I was about 23 years old. I'm 48 right now.
okay.
So in 2001, I was actually losing my peripheral vision. So what happened was I was actually driving on this street called Jarvis Street, and I sideswiped a parked car. So ended up going to the eye doctor, and then they actually said to me, "Yeah, you are losing your eyesight." So they sent me to an eye specialist, and the eye specialist leaned back in his chair, and he was asking me how old I was. I told him 23, and he told me that yeah, he was telling me I have like really bad glaucoma, and I had to do an emergency surgery. So I called my mom to figure out like what's going on. And yeah, I never met my mom's dad. So I never met my grandfather, but my mom did tell me that my grandfather was blind at the age of 55, and also my great grandmother was blind. And then on my dad's side, he's blind in one eye, and also yeah, my grandfather on my dad's side was also blind. So I got like the double whammy.
Okay.
So kind of like skipped a generation, and I pretty much got the worst of it. So yeah, so 2001, I was diagnosed with glaucoma.
All right.
Yeah.
So now with glaucoma and you know for those who may know, but I'm not certain, but is there a way to like is there a way to like slow down the process or reverse the process, or is it just something that's inevitable that's going to happen once you have it?
So the glaucoma specialist told me that you can't actually reverse the process, but marijuana does help. I'm not gonna lie
Gotcha.
there. Yeah, marijuana does help, and obviously taking the eye drops, and yeah, because like it's fluid that builds up in the back of the eye that damages the optic nerves. So what happened was I had to do an emergency surgery, and they had to cut my eye open to drain out all the fluid that's getting built up in the back of the eye. It's kind of like blood. It's kind of like having high blood pressure.
Right.
Yeah. So like when I was getting tested, the pressure in my eyes were at like 56, and it's supposed to be around 12. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And this has actually nothing. Glaucoma has nothing to do with like diabetes and all that stuff. A lot of people ask me, "Hey, did you have diabetes?" I'm like, "No, it was just glaucoma." Usually, old people get glaucoma, but
Right.
because like it's a hereditary disease that runs in my family, I
Yeah.
got like I pretty much got like the double whammy of it, right? So
Right.
yeah.
Okay, understood. So,
Mhm.
all right. So you sideswipe a car. You go
Yeah.
to you go to the eye specialist, and
Yeah.
so the eye specialist is saying that you're losing your vision. Now, by that time when you see the specialist, you know I assume, but I want to hear from you.
Mhm.
Like, was it like too far gone to go and to take steps to reverse the process?
So a lot of nerves were actually damaged in my right eye.
Okay.
So I did lose my peripheral. So I was losing my peripheral in my right eye, but I still had 20/20 vision in my left eye. And he did tell me to take the eye drops religiously, but at the same time, he told me that I will go blind eventually. He actually told me I would pretty much be completely blind by the time I'm 40, because after I did that emergency surgery, 3 months later, the eye pressure was still high. Even though I was taking the eye drops, the eye pressure was still high. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So did you end up getting your peripheral back like once you did the emergency surgery or
No, it
no?
was damaged. He actually sent a letter to the Ministry of Transportation. They revoked my license,
Oh wow.
and he actually registered me to the CNIB. It's a Canadian National Institute for the Blind, right? So when they
Okay.
came to my mom's house and told me that I'm legally blind, I just didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it at all.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
did not
yeah.
want to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hearing something like that,
Hmm.
you know, that's a hard pill to swallow, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
I mean, shoot, I would be in denial myself,
Yeah, I was so in denial.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Okay, so like what was the, I guess, the catalyst what made you come to terms with you being blind?
Um, so after I was diagnosed, I pretty much went down a rabbit hole of like just like self destruction.
Hmm.
I was like partying every weekend. Yeah, like when the doctor told me that I'm gonna be blind, I just felt like my life was over.
Right.
I literally felt like my life was over. So all I did was party every weekend for years. Live that street life. Making obviously like illegal money. Just didn't have a care in the world.
Right.
And I was going down a path of destruction. And 2010, I woke up blind. So 9 years later, I woke up blind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now when you were completely blind, were you still going down the rabbit hole, or at that point, like, did you just have the acceptance? Because I know, like, there's the different stages of grief, if you will. You know what I mean? So
No, for sure.
yeah. So you had the anger
So,
stage. You were
so
partying, turning up. You were outside in the streets, hustling.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So after I went blind, I cried and I smiled at the same time because I realized that me being blind now, it's gonna actually slow me down, stop me from going down that path of destruction, going down that rabbit hole.
Mm,
And it did help me actually because here I am today having this conversation with you. I actually
right.
look at losing my eyesight as a blessing. A lot of people ask me why do I look at losing my eyesight as a blessing because again, like I was living that street life.
Right.
And yeah, I felt like this is just God giving me a second chance at life, new chapter. Yeah. Because before I was diagnosed, I was living after I graduated from high school, I was working for a little bit. And then after that, I was just, being a street pharmacist, living a street life.
I got you.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got you. I got you,
Yeah.
man. I
So I
got
look
you.
at it as like, if I didn't go blind, I could have ended up like my friends, jails,
Yeah.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I okay, so yeah, so it makes complete sense, right? Because when you said that you were laughing and crying at the same time,
Hmm.
you were crying because you couldn't see anymore, but you were laughing because you're like, if I kept going down this rabbit hole, I could have been in jail or I
Yeah.
could have been dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so you still got life to you.
Right. Exactly. There was no stopping me. Like, there was no stopping me. Like, I was addicted to just like, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Addicted to just like fast money, addicted to the street life, addicted to as like, young people would say today, the clout.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the clout, the drip,
Yeah.
the flyest cars,
Yes.
trying to hang out with the hottest women, going to
Right.
the hottest clubs. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because the crazy thing is when the doctor sent the letter to the Ministry of Transportation and they revoked my license, I still bought a car and I still drove, still had rentals,
Oh,
still
wow.
yeah. I didn't care. I didn't have a care in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, damn.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, I know, with Canada, like, they're like, I know the laws are very, very strict, especially when it comes to, like, motor vehicle laws. So
Oh
I know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so if you would have got caught up, you would have been in some serious trouble, man.
Yes, 100%. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so fast forwarding, you're legally blind and you have accepted it. Now, what are your next steps? What are you doing at this point? You're no longer a street pharmacist. You're not popping
Hmm.
bottles in the club.
Hmm.
What is Sheldon doing at this point?
So after going blind, I moved out of my condo because obviously I couldn't afford to live there anymore. I
Hmm.
wasn't that street pharmacist anymore,
Right.
and obviously I downsized and I moved into a small one bedroom apartment on the west side of Toronto. The area is called Parkdale, It's like kind of like a low income area, and
So you moved to the hood.
yeah, I would.
Yeah, he said low income area. Come on, man. Listen, we both melanin. We know. And listen, no matter what country or state, you move to the hood, bro.
I moved back to the hood, man. Wow.
I said, it was kind of low income. Nah. You went to the hood. It's all good because I'm born and raised in the hood, Brooklyn, New York, man. So
okay.
So I lived in the hood.
Shout out
man.
Brooklyn, right on.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so you go down to the west side and go from there.
Yeah, went down to the west side, moved back to the hood, and all I did for the first year was complain, just like blaming people why I'm blind, pointing the fingers at my family, mad at my dad, mad at my mom. Yeah. And I called my homie one day to complain to him. And a lot of people don't like when I share the story, but my homeboy said to me, yo, bro, stop calling me and complaining about your life. He goes, do something about it. He goes, don't expect a miracle to come knocking on your door. Don't expect a job or a girlfriend or, you know what I mean, just getting the help that you need to come knocking on your door. He's like, get up, grab your white cane, and like start walking up and down the street and see how you feel. And it was harsh, but I'm like, you know what, you're right. The next day I grabbed my white cane, started just going for little walks, learning how to use my white cane, started meeting my neighbors for the first time. And then after I went to this organization, called the CNIB, and then I got a mobility trainer to show me how to use my white cane to get around. So after I would say, 6 months of training, I was able to jump on a subway, take the streetcar to where I have to go, take the bus, and after that I was actually looking for jobs, and I got my first job in 2015 as a blind person working for the Metro newspaper, Salvation Army, and then after I got a job working at a printing company called CB Studio doing office administration work. So yeah, it wasn't an easy transition, but I was able to do it, and I started going to church too. I started going to church just to kind of just to see where my faith is,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Get some spiritual feeling, spiritual healing.
Yeah, healing. Yes, exactly. Get some understanding, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Absolutely. And now I tell people I see by faith and not by sight. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know that, you said that like people say that not like they don't like when you share the story about when your friend gave you tough love, but I think like that's the most important thing when it comes to life in general, where we can have those people, good friends, or someone in your inner circle who can actually hold your feet to the fire, because sometimes we need that wake-up call, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and I'm sure at this point you've probably thanked him for it, but maybe
I thank him to this day. I still thank him when he said to me, do something about it. And I was like, damn.
I know you was like, man, I know you probably hung up the phone like, F this dude, exactly. Man, I ain't calling him no more.
Exactly. But then, he's like, God helps those who helps themselves. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So you started working, you got you got the job and all that. All right. So what's so what are your next steps after that?
So after that now, working at the printing company, that was pretty much my career job. Mm-hmm. And then the pandemic hit.
oh boy.
The pandemic hit. And then when the pandemic hit, I obviously lost my job, and this ended up just sitting in my apartment, doing nothing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much like, most of us, you know what I mean? There were a lot of people who didn't have jobs. I mean, thankfully at that time I was able to, work remotely, but I know like a lot of people like who had to like go into, whether it be like the office or they had like different types of jobs, like they didn't have they didn't really have much coming in. So some people were able to get the I think it was the stimulus check, So some people were able to get the stimulus check, but I do know some people who actually weren't, who were not able to get a stimulus check. Like I think, like people who are like bartenders and stuff. I don't think they were able to get like a stimulus check. So yeah.
Well, I was fortunate because I was able to go on unemployment.
Yeah.
So like, thank God for that. And yeah, because my boss pretty much told me that, you know, like I can't really answer the phone and transfer calls while I'm at home, right? Because I was like going to the bank for him. I was ordering office supplies and just like directing calls and stuff like that. So obviously, you know, he was just mentioning to me that what his plan is that everybody's going to be working from home, and you know, people could just answer their own calls.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So so after the pandemic, let's go.
During the
yeah.
pandemic.
Sorry. Let me not jump ahead. You got it.
Yeah. So what happened was, so I would say 3 months into the pandemic. So March was like April, May, June. So 3 months into the pandemic, haven't seen my mom, gaining a lot of weight, just eating takeout every day because it was difficult for me. Like I tried to go to the grocery store and people didn't even like want to help me because, you know, the government was saying, you know, we got to like stand
what was it, like 6 feet
apart from each other.
Yeah.
So it was difficult for me to go grocery shopping. So I started like falling into a depression again. I was actually like, God damn. And now I'm a prisoner in my apartment. Now I'm actually a prisoner in my body again. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the thing is, it's like, you know, 3 months of watching YouTube videos and Netflix and music, I just got so tired of it, right? And called a friend that lives in Montreal, and I was just letting him know, like, hey, man, like, I don't know what my next step is going to be, right? And he was actually planning a trip to the Dominican Republic. So he actually said to me, if you want, you can meet me in the DR. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I told him, like I thought people are not allowed to travel. And he told me, like, everybody's traveling, even the government. Everybody was traveling, right? So I said, okay, cool. So I'm like, when you going? So he was going at the end of August.
Yep.
And he told me to meet him in Punta Cana. So I actually bought a plane ticket and I flew to Punta Cana for the first time as a blind person. I was very nervous flying to Punta Cana because I've, you know, obviously haven't flown blind before.
Right.
But when I got off the plane, walked outside the airport, I felt this huge weight just lift off of my shoulders. And he came up to me and was like, yo, how you feeling, man? I told him, yo, I feel good. Like, people were telling me that, yo, you're blind, you shouldn't travel, it's dangerous, yada, yada, yada. But as soon as I got out of the airport, like in Punta Cana, had that like that nice misty like wood smell in the air. And
yeah. I've been to Punta Cana.
Yeah. The music and like you can hear the ocean. I was just like, oh man, like what are people talking about, right? And I was just saying to myself, like, man, like I've always been the underdog, you know, after losing my eyesight. Right. And like, thank God I followed my gut and I didn't listen to people and just like, you know, sit at home like every other blind person I know and not do nothing with my life.
Right. Yeah.
So I stayed in I stayed in the Dominican Republic for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So first I was in Punta Cana for like 3-4 days.
Yep.
Then my homie brought me to Santo Domingo. Then he brought me to Santiago, where he lives with his girlfriend and daughter. So he goes to Santiago like 4 to 5 months out of the year. And then he goes back to Montreal to work. So when we're in Santiago, that's where we're staying. And then he brought me to Puerto Plata. He brought me to Sasua, brought me to Cabalete. And so stayed there for 2 weeks. I loved it so much.
Mm-hmm.
A month later, I went back. I packed a big ass suitcase and I went back and I moved there for 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a girlfriend and everything out there.
Gotcha. So before we get there, so we're about 30 minutes in, and we're gonna continue. But I did want to just give a couple of shout outs to a couple of people.
Do your thing,
we're gonna
brother.
continue.
Yeah.
All right, so shout out to my man, Knowledge and Relationships M3. Definitely says salute. All please do us a solid. Hit the like button, the notification button. Likes are free at 99, man. Hit the notification bell. Definitely appreciate y'all watching. If y'all like me, I like y'all too, man. Salute. Shout out to my man Juan is in the building. Definitely check out my man Juan. Like when if you're going to Medellin and you need a tour guide, he's got you, man. Oh snap! My A1 Day One, the Flyboy Way, THEFLYBOY. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel. Salute, salute. Also, please, 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 all do my man Sheldon the Blind Man a solid and subscribe to his YouTube channel. The link is right here. I just got it popped up. Santika says Wednesday night vibes. Definitely salute to my brother here. El Patron. Okay. All right. So you did pop in, man. You did pop in. I know you said 10 o'clock was late, but thank you for popping in, man. Definitely appreciate you, man. He says I was good. Salute. Let's see here. Oh, okay. All right. These guys are talking to each other. What's going on, Khalil? He says, Kings, read this to him, please. I checked your page. You're really blind. You're really inspiring. Yes, absolutely, man. You are really inspiring. And
Thank you.
Before I continue reading, like and I think I told you this when we had spoke on the phone last week, but if I didn't, like when I saw a picture with you and two beautiful ladies, and like and I saw the white cane, and I thought like maybe it was like a costume like contest or something, and I was like, nah. I was like, bro is really blind. I said, wow, like, yeah, they like if a blind person could travel and go around the world, you know, pardon my language, but y'all could get y'all fucking asses up and travel around the world. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
Yeah. So yeah, he said, ain't no way I could complain about anything in life. Keep living your life, brother. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, these guys are talking to each other. Salute to both of y'all. Glad I tuned in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my man Kai. Let's see here. What's our brother's channel? Oh yeah, man. I just think we just posted it. Bruce Thibodeau, thank you so much. Let's see.
Oh, that's my homie right there from Montreal that brought me to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we about to we about to finish the Dominican Republic story. But I just you know I saw some people commenting, so you know I definitely wanted to give a couple of shout outs, but we definitely go get back into it. I missed the salutations. LOL. Much love, Kings. Yeah. No, I will. I'll say it again, Juan. No, I said that to people. If they're traveling to Medellin and you need a tour guide, you know, for them to holler at you. So for sure. Juan is definitely a good dude, man. Like I've known Juan going on 4 years. So yeah, Juan is definitely a great brother, man. But yeah, so back to the conversation. All right, so you went out to Dominican Republic. You were out there for 2 weeks, and then you came back, and you said, "Hold up, I gotta spin the block."
Yes, sir.
and then you flew out there for 2 months. You said
2 months. Yeah, I was out there for 2 months.
Okay, gotcha.
It was such an amazing experience.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Now, like, what were your favorite place in the Dominican Republic that you went to? Because I know you said that you went to Punta Cana, you went to Puerto Plata, you went to Sosúa, you went to Santiago, Santo Domingo, and I think you said something else. I'm trying to remember. What was your favorite place that you traveled to and why?
Favorite? You mean favorite country or favorite place in the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, favorite place in the Dominican Republic.
Favorite, hands down.
That's a question for later, but yeah.
It's hands down is Santiago. That's like my home. El Congo is a small little hood in Santiago.
Oh,
and that's
nice.
where my homeboy's girlfriend's from.
Okay.
They showed me mad love out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. So, like, what is your favorite thing? Like, is it just like the vibe, the people, like the people,
the the people,
Yeah.
the music, the beer, the Presidente beer.
Yeah, the Presidente. Yes,
and the
yeah.
food, and the food.
Yeah,
And
I
the
will.
go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just, I was just laughing and saying, yeah, I like the Presidentes are good though.
They are, man. They are. Yeah. And
Yeah.
my favorite street food down there is chicharron, that fried pork.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
It's just
got
like
you.
fried
I
pork
got
skin. Yeah. It's called chicharron. Yeah.
Nice,
And the
nice,
women,
nice.
man, the women are so beautiful, and I
Yeah,
just love, like, like their hospitality down
yeah.
there. Like, they were so hospitable, and they showed me love, man. They showed me nothing but love down there. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, that's great, man. And so so you ended up staying out there for 2 months, and then
hmm
you ended up coming back. Now, did you end up
I had
going
no
back?
choice. I had no choice but to come back.
Oh, okay. So
Because
explain that.
what happened was our government shut the airport down. I was actually lucky. I got the last flight going back to Toronto, and then the airports were shut down for like 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So if I would have missed that flight, I would have just had to stay with my friend, and I would have been screwed because I would have, like, wouldn't be able to do my taxes, and, like, like they say, obviously finance issues, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, man, that sucks. So you had to be back in Canada for 6 months before you could fly out again.
Yeah. So when I flew out again in 2021, I went to Playa del Carmen in Mexico. That was like, whoo. Yeah,
PDC.
Playa del Carmen
Yes.
is lit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's one place that like people don't talk about. And I know like the big four is DR, Colombia, Thailand, Brazil, like those are
hmm
like the big four, and then now you got Nairobi, you know what I mean, and then
hmm
South Africa. So I know like those are like the big 5 or 6, if you will, that's talked about. But Playa del Carmen, Mexico is like it's in Quintana Roo, which is the state it's in, which is so you fly into Cancun and then it's about an hour away. But it's
hmm
really nice, and they have a large expat community too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't play around when it comes to partying. I would say
No.
Playa del Carmen has a bigger party scene than Santiago does,
Yeah.
definitely, because I was partying until 6 in the morning. My homeboy brought me to an after hour party
Yep.
where this is during the pandemic, right? It was still the pandemic going on.
Oh yeah.
7 o'clock curfew some places, and yeah, so we're at this after hours, and when the police will drive by, they'll turn the music off and everybody will keep quiet. It's in a big warehouse, and then after, when the police drive by, they turn the music back up, and we were partying until like 6 in the morning. Yeah. And what I love about Playa del Carmen, they have a lot of Afrobeat parties down there. A lot of
Yes.
melanated people live there. A lot of Black people there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Africans. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
hmm
there's this Jamaican guy. He has a Jamaican restaurant.
I know who you're talking about. Rockas, right?
That's Rockers. Yes.
Woo,
Oh
man,
my
yeah. I
God.
ate there twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, shoot, man. Listen, I've eaten there like 4 times, man.
hmm
Shh, that's between us, you know. But yeah, especially like during that time and during the pandemic, like Mexico was one country where everybody was going to. Like people were going to Playa del Carmen, people were going to Tulum. Like
Yeah.
Mexico was open because at that time, like everyone was so depressed because everyone was confined. As you said, like we were all prisoner in our own homes, right?
Yeah.
And so then when like I remember, and I went with Flyboy actually. So Flyboy Way, I don't know if I told you, but he and we went to high school together. So that's
Yeah, you mentioned that to me when we were having that
okay,
conversation.
cool.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up, going to Mexico, not really kind of knowing like what to expect, but like when we realized like Cancun was wide open, Cancun was wide open, Playa del Carmen was wide open, Tulum was open. I mean, the only thing like in the club, like what they would do is just, make sure like they check your temperature or whatever. But like as far as like the club, like yeah, like you would not have thought like it was like a pandemic in Mexico. You were
True.
not
That's
told it was a
facts.
pandemic. Yeah,
That's facts. Yeah.
yeah,
That's facts.
it was open. Like, yeah, because everybody was going to Mexico at that time, man. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're right as far as with the Afrobeat scene. Yeah, they have a lot of Afrobeats parties, and you have you have a lot of American black men. You have some Canadian black men. You also have black guys like from like Europe, the UK. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, it's a big mix. So
I met a bunch of Africans there from France.
oh, well,
So
okay,
yeah, and Nigeria, Ghana, Vancouver.
nice. Yeah, and so so how long did you stay in Playa del Carmen?
So I was in Playa del Carmen for 10 days.
Okay.
And then after Playa del Carmen, as soon as I got back here to Toronto, I flew to Jamaica for 2 weeks during the pandemic. Yeah. And Jamaica had a 7:30 p.m. curfew everywhere.
Yeah.
But I was staying the first week. I was staying at a Airbnb with some friends called in Drax Hall. That's like Ocheria's.
Yep.
So they had like the only club that was open was this Go-Go club, and they turned it. This is like the strip club / nightclub, and that's where everybody would go.
Right.
Yeah. So that was lit. And then the second week, I went to Kingston, and I stayed in Kingston for the second week. And
Nice.
I went to a nightclub out there where it was the Don's birthday party in this neighborhood where I was staying in St. Anne's Bay.
Yep.
Sorry, not St. Anne's Bay. St. Thomas.
Yep. St. Thomas.
Yeah. There was this Don, because I was like, hey, man, how's this guy allowed to, have a party? And my boy told me he's the Don of the neighborhood. So I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah. See, yeah, like
He's like the Don
like
of the neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah. There's certain rules for certain people. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
Yeah,
Same thing like when I was in
boss, you got it.
Exactly. Same thing like when I was in Ocheria's. The owner of that club came up to me, and some young kid, man, and he came up to me, and my homeboy say, "Yo, who is this guy?" Right? And then I'm like, "It's the owner of this club." And my friend's like, "There's no way this guy's the owner of the club." And then his security came around him and said, "Oh shit, he is the owner." And then he was just asking me like, "Yo, are you really blind?" He's like, "I see, all the women that were like dancing with you." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm completely blind, man." He's like, "Wow, that's amazing, right?" He wanted to heal me up, man. So when I got back from Jamaica, that's when I realized, I'm like, you know what, man? I'm gonna go to a country by myself and let my nuts hang. I'm like, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So in 2022 is when I went to Costa Rica by myself. I did have a friend fly down who works for Air Canada for like a couple of days just to make sure I'm all right. And then he went back, and then the rest of the time I was in Costa Rica by myself. I was in Jaco Beach, and I did excursions. I met a lot of cool people, and I was there by myself.
Right.
Yeah. No fear.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And before we continue, like with the traveling, and I have to ask, like, what made you just say, like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just going to travel, and knowing that you're blind, and let's just be honest, like, people don't play fair in society, right? So some people could try to take advantage of you due to the fact that you are blind, right? You know what I mean? So like, I'm sure that there was probably some semblance of fear in that regard, but like, what made you say, I don't care about none of that, I'm still gonna do me?
I would say it was like traveling with people. Like when I was in Mexico, I was with a friend that didn't really want to do nothing. And I get it. Like, he works a lot. And the thing is, remember, I'm not working, right? So I'm spending this money, and I want to go out every night, right? But he just wants to chill. So the issue was, it's like, I'm like, hey, what are we doing tonight? He's like, nothing. And then I'm like, God damn it. Like, I'm stuck, right? I don't know anybody in Mexico, right? So what happened was one day me and him went out to the beach, and I met this Nigerian guy named Daniel. If he's watching a shout out to Daniel. So met this Nigerian guy named Daniel, and I took his number down. And then later on that evening, I said to my homie, I'm like, yo, you want to go out tonight? He's like, bro, I told you I'm tired. I just want to relax. I know you want to go out, but I'm here to relax. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. So I called Daniel, and Daniel had met up with me at the Airbnb, and my homeboy's like, yo, you don't know this dude. This guy could rob you, set you up. And I told him, listen, man, if I got to stay in this Airbnb for another night, it's been like 3 days just sitting in the Airbnb. I told him I would take the chance of getting robbed and kidnapped before I have to sit here for another night. You know what I mean? Plus, I told you, like, I'm from the streets, right? So I'm like,
right.
Let me, obviously, I have street smarts. So I'm like, you know what, man? Like, I could defend myself. Like, I've done I did 2 years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as a blind person.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I used to take, so my tattoo artists would always press me, yo, you got to come to the, this it's called BJJ. It's like a Toronto, it's like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym in Toronto. It's called BJJ. And he's like, yo, you got to come. There's this blind guy there that has his black belt. You got to meet him. You seriously, I'm not lying. You got to come. First, I didn't know what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was. And he's like, yo, like, is this, grabbing people? Like, it's kind of like wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I went there, and I had so much fun. So again, I was doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from 2018, 19, and then the pandemic hit. And then I stopped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I figured, you know what? Like, I could defend myself. So went out with my homeboy, Daniel, and he brought me to 3 Afrobeat parties. And I was like, yo, I couldn't believe Playa del Carmen has like so many Afrobeat parties, like clubs, right? And so after that, I realized, I'm like, you know what? Like, if I really want to get that full experience of traveling, I got to do this on my own. So said a prayer, and I said, hey, God, I'm going to take this leap of faith. All I ask you is just to make sure you protect me along this like solo travel journey that I'm going to take. And he's been doing exactly that, When I was in Costa Rica, I got attacked by a pack of dogs and in Jaco Beach. I guess the dogs, like, see these wild dogs saw my white cane because I'm swinging the white cane from side to side. One of the dogs bit me in my ankle in front of that bar called Orange Pub.
Yeah. And
the security guard kicked the dogs out the way. He put the flashlight on my ankle, and he was just like, yo, not even a scratch, not even a puncture. And the guy that I was with, that I met at the resort that I was staying at, was like, yo, I saw the dog bite you, and not even a scratch. And I was just like, thank you, God. He kept his promise.
Was it a big dog, though? Or
these were like these little, these were like street dogs. They were big dogs. They were like, kind of, those mongrels you see in Jamaica?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It was like 3 of them. It was like 3 of them that attacked me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah. That's amazing, man.
Yeah. So from after that, I'm like, it's on. It's on.
Right.
And then boom, 17 countries later.
Damn.
Yeah.
You said, man, fuck. You said, man, fuck this dog, man. I'm
out. Yeah. So
absolutely, man.
Yeah. So the countries I've been to by myself was Costa Rica. I've been to Amsterdam by myself. I've been to Cuba by myself, and I was in Czech Republic by myself. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And Iceland as well. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I wanna talk about Cuba, and then I want to talk about Czech Republic, and then I want to talk about Iceland.
Sure.
But before we do, let me give a couple of shout outs, man. Shout out to my man Arnold Daka, man. This is my brother right here, my A1 Day 1 2. He says inspirational king, bless up. Tim Howard says, say what? I think maybe he was referencing I don't know. I don't know what he was referencing, because you're saying a lot of inspiring things on here, brother.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Roberto Clemente, says, what up? All right. So he says, this man's traveling and still living his life despite his challenges. There's no more excuses, fellas. Yes, absolutely. Fellas, ladies, I mean, whoever wants to travel, like, yeah, you know, you can't have any excuses like, oh, I can't do this and oh, I can't do that. Like, dude, like the man is literally blind and has been to 17 countries. No excuse.
No
All right.
excuses.
Yeah, so all right. So let's start with Cuba because
Hmm.
yeah, so I've been to Cuba a couple of times and Cuba is actually one of my favorite countries to go to.
Hmm.
But it's one of my favorite countries to go to but not spend like too much time there. Like I would recommend if anybody's going to Cuba at max 5 days.
Yes, facts. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, only because of like the extreme lack of resources. And when I mean the extreme lack of resources, and I know you can attest to this,
They
where
didn't even have ketchup for
yes,
the burger. Yeah,
I was getting
yeah.
there, but yeah, like they don't have ketchup. Your basic toiletries, like to get where you could go to like your local pharmacy in that country and get like let's say if you forget like your toothpaste or your toothbrush or whatever, you could just go there, you know what I mean? Or if you like forgot your deodorant, you could just go to the pharmacy, whatever, whatever it is that you need. It's not a big deal, you can pick that up. But there, due to the fact that there's a lack of resources, like to get like a toothbrush or toothpaste, it's like the equivalent of like 8 to 10 US dollars.
Hmm.
Like it's crazy. So
Hmm.
like the people there don't have like those things. So when I went over there, every time I go over there, I always bring like basic toiletries, toys for the kids, candies for the kids, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, I did the same thing too. I went to some dollar store here in
yeah,
Toronto and bought a whole bunch of stuff for the people who
yeah.
work there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So okay, so you pretty much did the same thing that I did. Like
Hmm.
went to the
Hmm.
dollar store and stocked up. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I bought like deodorants like for the men, deodorants for the women. I even bought like underwear for the women and
Mm.
razor blades for the
Mm.
men and women. Because like I said, like they like those basic necessities, like they have them, but like it's so much for them to get it. So if we don't want to pay $8 to $10 there, and I
Mm.
their average salary monthly is probably maybe about $167 or $170. It may be like $200 now, something
Hmm.
like that. But and that's a month. That's not a week. That's a month. So you guys can understand why like it's really really rough. But
Hmm.
I digress. So I want to hear from you about your experience.
I had a really good experience, just minus the food, but my experience there was
Yes.
amazing. So I stayed in Varadero for a week,
Yep.
and I stayed at the hotel, a resort called Tuxpan. And yeah, the first day I got there in the evening time, so I kind of rested that night. But the next day, I was eating breakfast by myself, and a girl came up to my table, sat down to talk to me. She was helping me out, but the manager, the manager came up to me and told me he's gonna have his son helped me. And yeah, his name was Fernando, the manager's son. And
Hmm.
Fernando took care of me the whole entire week that I was there. He introduced me to his mom, him and his mom. His mom's a teacher. Him and his mom brought
Hmm.
me to the beach. They brought me to the mall. They brought me to do the horse carriage ride,
Yes.
the vintage car. I went to Al Capone's house, and my
Yep.
homie Fernando, all he just said is like, "Don't worry, bro. Don't worry, bro. I got you. Don't worry, bro. I got you." The
Yeah. Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
entire he brought me to the nightclub. He put me in the VIP section and brought women to the table.
Yep.
Yo, man, if Fernando, if you're watching this, man, love you, man. And actually, I spoke to him today. He actually moved to Serbia. He moved to Belgrade, Serbia, with his brother. His brother's there right now on a dancing scholarship. So
Oh,
Fernando is
nice.
able to get out of Cuba
Yeah,
and move to Serbia. So
yeah,
yeah, he took care of me the whole entire week that I was there.
yep.
Yeah. So
Nice,
yeah.
nice, man. Nice. Yeah. Another thing is like even though they don't have the resources, but the Cuban people are very very friendly. I mean, they're
Hmm.
really really nice. They will help you out and like and they won't necessarily like expect anything, but due to the fact that the economy is just so bad, like obviously you're gonna want to help them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but like they don't ask for anything, but like
Hmm.
yeah, just just look out for them. But
Yeah, I try to give him some money. He's like, no, bro. He goes, we're brothers. I'm like, Fernando, I'm like, you better take this, man. He goes, please. He goes, I'll share it with everybody. And I'm like, okay, share it with everybody if you have to. But yeah,
yeah,
he was really cool.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Cuba's definitely one of my favorite countries.
yeah, yeah.
But interesting. I don't know if you noticed because you said that you stayed at a hotel, right? So
Hmm.
you know that me being a United States citizen, I cannot actually stay in the hotel.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so the United States, the embargo with Cuba, so United States citizens cannot stay in a hotel in Cuba. So we have to get like an Airbnb. We can't stay at the hotel.
Really?
Yes.
You mean like no resort?
No, nothing. No.
Yeah, see, I noticed that because everybody that I met at the resort where I was staying at was either from Europe or Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
If you were meeting people from the United States, they were either staying in Old Habana or over by oh my gosh I forgot it's Old Habana and then I forgot the name of the other place but
Hmm.
it's more modernized but those are like the
Okay.
two. I'm sorry.
I'm saying okay, okay. Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
didn't
Yeah,
realize that. Yeah.
yeah, no hotel like it even
Wow.
has like a sign like it says no United States citizens.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, yeah,
So how do
like
you
the
guys
first.
how do you guys how do you guys fly there? You guys fly there from Miami or something or
Oh, no. What I'm saying is that we can fly there. I'm talking about just the hotel itself.
right, 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 right.
Yeah, so like there's flights that go there. So yeah, so like yeah, but like for me, like now I'm near Boston, but I'm from New York. So like you could actually get a direct flight from Newark, New Jersey airport and fly
Okay.
right into Habana. Um, but I had a layover in Miami, and then from Miami, I flew into Cuba. But like,
Mm,
yeah, getting there is not the issue. What I'm saying is, as far as like room and board, if you are
yeah.
a United States citizen, like, oh, like the sign outside of like the hotel door, like front doors, it
Hmm.
says no United States citizens. Like the first time I saw
Damn.
that, I tripped out. I was like, well, damn.
Mm, right.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
when you had mentioned that you had stayed at like the hotel, I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, that's right, he's Canadian, so
Mm.
no issues there.
Yeah, I got violently sick the day I was leaving. I got sick from the breakfast.
Oh,
I
oh
thought I was
boy.
gonna miss my flight, man. But thank God, you know us Jamaicans. My mom, I remember my mom gave me all kinds of remedies. So I remember she told
Mm.
me if I ever get food poisoning, drink rum.
Yeah.
So I took a couple of shots of some Cuban rum,
well,
and a
well, well,
half hour
well,
later, I was saucy and I felt better.
there's definitely a lot of rum in Havana.
Yeah, exactly. Because whatever that it was in the obviously the rum killed that like bacteria in my stomach.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah,
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 yep.
yeah.
Absolutely, man. And I, and I want to hear I want to hear your experience because you did mention the food.
Yeah.
You did mention the food, and outside of you getting sick, like what did you think about the food outside of you getting sick?
The food wasn't good at all, man. The
Yeah,
breakfast,
no,
the breakfast
yeah,
was okay. It was they didn't have bacon, they didn't have real sausages, but they
oh
had
wow,
eggs. Thank God they had eggs with
mhm.
some type of weird like hot dog. They call it sausages, and I'm like, this is not a sausage.
Yeah.
and like lots of fruit, obviously,
Yeah.
and beans, and just like kind of like tomato salads and stuff like that. And then for lunch, it would be like some type of like pork, chicken, and like obviously they had lots of seafood.
Yeah.
And for dinner, same thing, like chicken, pork. But thank God that this resort that I was staying at had a like an actual grill house
Yeah.
close to the beach on the resort.
Mm-hmm.
And I just pretty much just ate grilled chicken every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, grilled
Yeah.
chicken with potatoes. You can't mess that up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? That sounds pretty much like what I did on most days was just the grilled chicken, because I'm like you can't
Yeah,
I'm like you
yeah.
can't mess up grilled chicken. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and I said to the
Yeah.
guy, "What's on that?" I said, "What kind of season is?" He just said salt and pepper. I'm like, "All right, salt and pepper on grilled chicken with potatoes. That's it."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
So
at night, they were like, "Hey, do you guys want like they had like snacks at night, right?" And then I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm cool. What kind of snacks?" Burgers with salsa on it. No ketchup, no mustard, no cheese, no nothing. Just burgers with salsa and ham and cheese. Sorry. Burgers with salsa and ham sandwiches. Yeah, just
Oh,
ham, like pork ham sandwiches.
oh yeah, nah. Well,
Yeah, that
I
was.
I don't eat pork, but yeah, like
Mhm.
I wouldn't like I wouldn't have even like touched the burger, because the thing is like,
Didn't taste like real burger meat either.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
I stuck with chicken. And so like where my Airbnb was,
Hmm.
like the places that I always run out, like right up the street there's a halal place.
Okay.
Yeah, so
They
I
actually
know.
had a halal place in Cuba.
Yes.
Oh wow, didn't okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And so, so what I would get pretty much every day is rice and grilled chicken
Okay, you
every
can't go
day.
wrong with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you can't go wrong with that. And I'm like, you
Hmm.
know what? Like, I got there on Thursday. I left there Monday morning. You know what I
See,
mean? So
that's
I was
good because to be honest with you, I couldn't spend no more than a week in Cuba. Trust me.
no, no.
Hmm.
Like people ask me, hey, like I know you've been to Cuba, like how long? And I'm like, max 5 days, max 5 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
that country is definitely last on my list. If I'm ever gonna like, yeah, go back, it'll be like last on my list. One thing I can definitely tell you, the beach is
Yeah.
beautiful. That was the best
Yes.
beach I've ever been on because like just like my feet. I know people are like probably wondering like, but you can't see. But yo, like just walking on the sand, it's like my feet was like sinking in the sand. It's like my feet were literally like melting in the sand. The
Yep.
water was like really, really clean.
Yep.
The ocean was calm. It wasn't like rough like waves, kind of
Right.
like
Yeah.
Punta Cana has rough waves. Costa
Right.
Rica has rough waves.
Yeah.
This was like beautiful, beautiful beach. Smelled
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the best beach that I've been to thus far for my travels, and I still have a lot more traveling to do, but it would be in Cuba. The
Mm.
best beach that I've been to has been in Cuba, and I think it's just and I think it's because like you don't have a lot of people, or you don't have like a big expat community and things like
Hmm.
that. So like so the beach is very much intact. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the beach is very much intact. But I did want to hear. I did want to hear about your nightlife experience in Havana, because the nightlife
Oh, you mean the
experience is
Varadero?
really good though.
It was in Varadero. My nightlife experience was in Varadero. So right beside the hotel that I was staying at had a nightclub. It was actually a new nightclub that just opened up.
Oh,
And
okay,
yeah, I
nice.
can't remember the name of it, but my buddy Fernando brought me there and
Okay,
got me a little VIP section.
nice.
It was nice. It was nice. It was salsa, Cuban music.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
And they played like some techno, not too much hip hop, not too much reggae.
Yeah.
But they played like reggae tone.
Ah, reggaeton. Yep.
Yeah, and like salsa and like some kind of like electronic music. Yeah.
Oh,
It
like
was all
EDM.
right. Yeah, yeah. It was all right. It was all right. It was all right.
Yeah, cool. No, well,
Yeah.
see, yeah, see, I wish you would have came with me because I definitely would have brought you to the spots that play like Afro beats, dance hall,
Okay.
hip hop. Yeah, so there's this nightclub. It's called the Art Gallery, and literally in this place there is actually an art gallery where you can actually
Oh.
see purchase art. Yes, I mean they're very creative in Cuba. That's the one thing I will say.
Hmm.
They are extremely creative. So and
See, that's the
then
thing that like you weren't in a tourist area, right? Like I was in a tourist area.
no.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't in the tourist area.
Yeah.
Um
So you got to experience the real Cuba.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the art gallery is really really nice, and they have like I think it's like three different floors, so the three different rooms or what have you. So they
Okay.
have like so they have like the reggaeton, then they had like the salsa room, and they had like a room where they had like a live band actually playing, which was
Hmm.
really cool, and then they had like the hip hop room. So the
Hmm.
hip hop room, so you're hearing Afro beats, you're hearing hip hop, you're hearing dance hall. Yeah,
Hmm.
man, it was really really good, man. Really really good.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, if you ever decide to go back, and you just say, "Hey, I'm gonna do maybe like a
Yeah.
four
If
day
I ever
trip,"
do go back, it would be to Havana, not Varadero, because
yeah,
Varadero is too touristy for me.
yeah, no, Habana,
Hmm.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Yeah. Go to Habana. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So go,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, go to Habana. If you say, hey, you know what, KND, let's do like a 4 day trip. Cool. Let's knock
Right.
it out. Yeah, man,
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, so now Czech Republic.
Oh man, I loved it there.
Okay,
I
yeah.
was there
So how
by
long?
myself. I was there for 8 days by
Okay,
myself.
nice.
Hmm.
All right, and so what did you end up doing there?
I did everything. So I did my research. I stayed in Prague and I called a bunch of free walk-in tour companies. And
Hmm.
finally, this lady answered, and she said that yeah, she can meet up with me at my I stayed at a hostel. She said yeah, no problem. She'll meet up with me at my hostel, and she said yeah, she'll help me out if I need help. So flew there. It took me 15 hours to fly to Czech Republic because
Oh wow.
there's no direct flights there from Toronto. Now there is. Air Canada just announced a few weeks ago that they're doing direct flights from Toronto to Prague, Czech Republic. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I had to fly from Toronto to Germany, and then from Germany to Czech Republic. So,
Okay.
so that took 15 hours. And yeah, got to the first hostel. It was called Hostel Elf. And I met a bunch of backpackers there. Didn't really like that hostel. The hostel was very small and their
Hmm.
showers weren't working that good.
Oh
So I
wow.
moved to a different hostel called the Clock Inn. And this hostel was amazing. I had like a nightclub on the rooftop, had a bar,
Okay. Now
lots
we're
of beautiful
talking.
women there. Yeah. And it was that tour guide actually brought me there. And after I went there the next day, she brought me to the Charles Bridge. She brought me to go see the astronomical clock. She brought me to this musical instrument museum where you can play the instruments. She brought me to this cathedral church where the president is actually residing. He has an office there. And also, she brought me to a live hockey game. They love hockey down there.
Oh
And
yeah.
she brought me to the opera. And
Oh nice,
yeah, and
nice.
she brought me to a bunch of Czech Republican restaurants where I had pork knuckle for the first time. So they call it the pagan food, the pork knuckle, and
Okay.
had some good Czech Republic ice cream there. Met a lot of people, met a lot of beautiful women there, and yeah, Czech Republic. And went to some really nice nightclubs. I went to this nightclub that had 3 floors.
Yeah, nice.
One floor was like hip hop, second floor was like EDM, and the other floor was like reggae. And they had a robots serving drinks.
Wow,
Yeah,
nice,
yeah. It was
nice.
so I can't remember the name of the club, but It's the only club in Prague that has 3 floors. Also went to the strip club there too. It was nice. A bit
All
expensive,
right.
but yeah, yeah,
All
yeah, yeah,
right. All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I did a
Those.
dig down there. So I was there for 8 days. She took care of me every single day, man. She actually, I was trying to give her money. She didn't want nothing from me. She's the one that actually bought the opera tickets, bought the hockey tickets for me. You know what I mean? Like she just liked my vibe, you know, because I'm a people person. Like, you know, I like to, you know, meet people and just like, you know, share
Yeah.
my experience with people. Like I definitely am a personable person. Yeah. So I had
Yeah.
an amazing time there.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very cool, man. Very, very
Hmm.
cool. You
And
know.
it's cheap.
Yeah. So you know what? I need to put Czech Republic on my list. I definitely
Oh,
need to
you
put that on
definitely
my list.
have to. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Nice, man. So
And one
so
of the
the
reasons, and I just want to say quickly, one of the reasons why I decided to stay at a hostel because I've been to hotels before. Like for an example, I was at a hotel for a few nights by myself in Germany,
Mhm.
and it wasn't easy to communicate with people, right? And also too, the person at the front desk was always busy. They didn't answer my phone call when I called. So
Yeah.
like when I'm walking, I was staying in the area called Offenbach. That's just on the outskirts of Frankfurt. And I was just like, how the hell am I gonna get around? Like they don't speak English where I'm
Yeah.
at. And it was just difficult to get around for me. But thank God my buddy who works for Air Canada came down with his uncle and he was able to help me out for the rest of the time I was there
Yeah.
in Germany. But that's one of the reasons why I decided to go to a hostel because you know at a hostel, you know, you can meet other like-minded like travelers, right? And
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and I went
Absolutely.
out with them. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes, you're well, this not the first one, but the second hostel that you went to, the one that had like the
Hmm.
nightclub
The
and stuff.
nightclub and the bar, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like the like a hostel where Flyboy and I stayed at in Isla Mujeres in
Okay,
Mexico. Yeah,
okay.
it was it was like hotelish slash hostel, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and yeah, it was really nice. Like we each had like our own rooms, our own shower,
Hmm.
and like we had like a balcony, and our rooms came with like a bottle of wine. Yeah, like it was a glorified hostel. It wasn't it
Hmm.
wasn't like one of those ones like the ones you're talking about like where the backpackers are and stuff. But like
Hmm. Hmm.
I like the fact that we were at that hostel because like we met like different people. Like we had met some people from like Germany, met some people from
Yes.
Argentina and stuff like that. Yeah, and I can understand from your standpoint because obviously you're blind and and like you can get around. You're comfortable getting around, but if you ask someone a question and they're not able to speak the language, English, you know what I mean? Like, at least you
Yeah.
can be with people, from different areas. So
Yeah.
maybe, so maybe one person may not know English, but maybe their friend says, "Hey, you know what? I can help you. I speak English." So
Right,
it makes
right,
sense
right.
why you
Yeah.
would do that. Yeah,
Like I've
absolutely.
been to an Airbnb before by myself, and let me tell you, man, I was bored.
Yeah.
Nobody to talk to, you know what I mean? So yeah, so like I recommend, to people that like, hey, if you're gonna travel for the first time by yourself, go to a hostel or go to a resort because at least at the resort you're gonna meet other people. That's kind of like it's like a big hostel. You know what I mean? You have your own room.
Mm-hmm.
You got people who work there that can help you. But hotels, like when I was in Lisbon, Portugal, I called the front desk and I'm like, hey, sir, can you get somebody to bring me down so that I can grab some food? He goes,
Mm-hmm.
no, we're busy. And I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. So thank God I was there with my cousin. I had to like go to another floor to knock on his door, say, hey, let's go for some breakfast. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
thought like the people would have been friendly to like help me, but no, they
yeah,
weren't. Yeah.
yeah. No, absolutely, man, absolutely. So,
Hmm.
all right, so you leave Czech Republic, and then you mentioned, I think you said Iceland, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what happened? So I'm gonna tell you what happened. So what happened was when I was going to Frankfurt, Germany,
Mm-hmm.
I booked my ticket with Iceland Air. So
Oh,
what happened
okay.
was when I jumped on the plane here in Toronto, somebody had like some type of medical issue. So they were attending to that person, and then what ended up happening, that person, it took a while. I guess it took a while for the ambulance to come get that person off the plane.
Yeah.
So by the time we're like halfway to Iceland, the lady, the flight attendant is like, "Hey, Mr. Francis, good news for you." I'm like, "What's that?" She goes, "We're gonna upgrade you to first class." And I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "Oh no, we would have, we're just being friendly." I'm like, "Am I gonna miss my second flight?" She goes, "Yeah, you're gonna miss your second flight." And I'm like, "Come on, man! Like, for real?" She's like, "We're so sorry, Mr. Francis." I'm like, "Shit, man!" So got up to first class, and then as soon as we land, I'm like, "This is not my fault. You guys have to pay for this, right?"
Right.
Like, "Don't worry, Mr. Francis." So they brought me to an area, and I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "Can I? When's the next flight?" This is 7:30 in the morning. So I'm like, "When's the next flight?" They said the next flight is not until 10 hours. I'm like, "Oh my God, man." I'm like, "For real?" They're like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "What the hell am I going to do for 10 hours?" Right? So thank God that the girl that I was helping me, she was cool. She brought me outside the airport. Me and her went for a walk and stuff like that. We were talking. And she was giving me some good intel on like Iceland, like if I ever come back to stay there for like a week or two. So pretty much she was telling me that Iceland only has a population of like 375,000 people. And I'm like, okay. And she was telling me that like, she was saying like the women would love me. And I'm like, really? I'm like, is it because I'm black? She goes, yeah, that too. But she said how the women, so she was telling me that they have an app where like if you meet another Icelandic person, right? You go on the app to make sure that you're not related to that person because the population is so small.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she actually said to me that just me even being around the airport, like there were so many women coming up to me at the airport, outside of the airport, like, "Hey, what's your name?" You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, this is for real what she was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody's kind of like related to each other. Yeah. So she actually said, like seeing foreigners come down here is like refreshing for women. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that Iceland has such a small population of people. Yeah. But I was there for 10 hours. I was there for the whole day and stuff. And the food was nice there too. Yeah.
Okay. And like, what's the? And I guess I don't know if you asked for that, but like, what's like the best time of year to go, right? Because when I think
the best time of year to go would be August, and it's still a bit chilly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's like did she mention like what's like the temperature? Because we island guys, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. So like if you go in August, the temperature is going to be maybe 20 degrees during the day, and then at night it'll get down to like maybe like 14, 18 degrees. So it's like warm. It's not cold and it's not hot.
Wait,
So
wait, 20 degrees Celsius? I mean, Fahrenheit.
Celsius. Yeah. You guys do Fahrenheit in the States, right? In
Yeah.
Canada,
Because I had to make sure because you said 20 degrees like very casual. I'm like 20 degrees. I'm like 20 degrees. We freezing our ass off.
Yeah. So it's warm. It's warm. Like you're not getting like 30 degrees or 20
Okay,
degrees.
all right, So I just looked at it. So it's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay.
Yes.
So you can have like so you can have like a thin jacket or a hoodie or something like that.
Yeah,
but because when you said 20 degrees and you said that casually, I said hold the fuck up. Like,
right.
I was like, wait a minute.
But one thing I can definitely tell you is very expensive there.
Oh, it is very expensive?
Yeah, it's very expensive, man. Very expensive.
Yeah.
I paid like what did I pay again? I paid almost $20 for a drink.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very expensive there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, but was this in the airport or was this like outside of the airport?
Oh, this was outside the airport. Yeah, inside the airport, I got free drinks because remember I told you what happened was because I was there. Because I was there for 10 hours. They Everything was
when she hit you with the upgrade, and then when you
yeah.
asked
I
the
was
question,
yeah. I was actually in the airport lounge, right?
yeah,
And because like I'm a smoker, right? So I'm like, hey, like like, I want to actually leave the airport and like walk around a bit and stuff like that. One thing I tell you, it's very windy there. So when I was walking outside and just walking around a bit trying to find something to do, yeah, it was very windy. But the like shout out to that lady, man. She was very, very nice to
hmm
actually hang out with me for the day. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
bring me
very
outside
very
and stuff
cool.
like that. Yeah, very hospitable there. Very, very nice there. Yeah. So around 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. Yeah, so around like 5:30. It was like around like 5:36.
Hmm.
I got my flight to Frankfurt, Germany. Yeah, and then I stayed in Frankfurt, Germany for 1 week.
Okay.
And then me and my friend who met me there, we got a rental, and then we drove to Zurich, Switzerland.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I drove. Yeah, so I drove to Zurich, Switzerland for like a day. Yeah,
Okay. And
yeah.
let's talk about Switzerland now. You talk about expensive. Now I know Switzerland is expensive.
Hmm.
Switzerland is real expensive.
Crazy expensive. I actually paid I paid $34. Sorry, 34 francs for a Swiss burger with a drink and fries. Yeah,
Okay.
man.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so hold on. What's
Yeah,
34
do it.
francs?
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
34 francs to USD. Whoa, that's
Yeah.
$40.
Yeah. $40. Yeah.
Man, man, Switzerland is off the chain. That's 40
Yeah.
US dollars for a burger and fries.
Yep. I actually did a little vlogging there.
Did the drink come with that?
Yeah, it came with a drink. Yeah.
No, not like soda. Like
Oh no.
it better be some Hennessy or something in there.
Oh no. It was just a soda. Yeah,
I'm
it was at
saying
a bar.
$40 for a burger and
Yeah,
fries.
it was at
And
a bar called Nielsen Bar. Yeah,
man,
it was
well,
Nielsen Bar.
yeah, you know what?
Because what
Yeah,
happened was when we got there, we parked up in the parking lot and we were walking through the train station, and then we stopped off at one bar. I can't remember the name of that bar, and then we grabbed some shots. And then
yeah,
my homeboy was like, "Yo, dude, like, yo, this is crazy expensive." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then he was telling me how much the conversion rate was, and I'm like, "Oh dear God!" Right? Then
yeah,
after we went to Oliver Twist's bar.
yeah.
Oliver Twist is like this author that wrote a
Oh, I
bunch
know
of
who
books.
Oliver Twist is.
Yeah, he has a bar there. And then
Okay.
after we went to go get food at that Nielsen like pub,
Yeah,
and then we were gonna get a hotel.
yeah.
We were gonna get My friend walked in a hotel, and he walked back out, and he said, "We're driving back to Germany." And I'm like, "How much for the night?" He goes, "I don't even want to tell you." So we drove. Yeah.
your soul. Your soul. I mean, listen, if you're paying 40 US dollars for burger, fries, and a
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, imagine what that hotel probably was like four hundred
100
dollars.
francs a night. Yeah. So we drove back. So we
Yeah,
drove
he's
back
like,
to Frank.
he probably was like, listen, bro, we either go sleep in the car or I'm driving back to Germany. This ain't
Right, exactly. So we drove back to Germany, and then
yeah.
after we drove to Berlin the next day, and Berlin was fun. Yeah,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
also too, guys, rentals are dirt cheap in Germany. We rented an Audi. I actually have that short on my YouTube channel. We rented an Audi A8 for
Oh wow.
160 Canadian dollars for 3 days.
Wait, 160?
Canadian dollars for 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an Audi A8. Yeah.
Wow. So essentially that's about 55 to 60 US dollars a day, which
Yeah,
is
I don't.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's A8. Wow.
yeah, it's an Audi A8 because you know what's crazy? Like the Uber drivers drive like big Benzes, and cars are
Yeah.
cheap in Germany. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Hmm.
Nice. All right. So really quick before we continue, let me just
Hmm.
read a couple of the chats. While I'm doing that, just slide your camera a little bit to your right.
Okay.
Yeah, just to kind of center yourself.
Right there.
A little bit more.
Right there.
A little bit more. A little bit more.
Okay.
More.
Okay.
A little bit more.
Oh, let me fix. How about that?
Yep. Keep it
Hold on
there.
a second. Just like this?
Yeah, keep it there. Keep it there. Keep it there. You're good.
Now centered.
Huh?
Is it centered?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay,
All
perfect. Thanks, brother. Yeah.
No worries, man. No worries.
All right.
All right. So my man Roberto Clemente says no way, 5 days, maybe for a certain city. But you should but you should definitely travel out to that country despite the setbacks and unfortunate circumstances. You're touching up on, you will definitely get your bang for your buck. Yes. He's mentioning Cuba. Yeah, like
Right, yeah.
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, all please make sure that you do like and subscribe to my man Sheldon the Blind Traveller. Make sure you do that for my brother from another. All right. Now, yes,
sir.
yes, Cuban people are super nice. Although I see an altercation between locals. I haven't seen the locals really get into it. Even when I was in like Little Habana, like they really seem like friendly with each other. I haven't, yeah. And Little Habana, like that's the, it's kind of like the barrio,
Right.
But like,
I
you
just
can
tipped the
walk,
camera. Sorry.
like you can
Is
walk
the camera?
freely, yeah, but you can walk freely in that hood, like, I'll tell you a quick story and I'll continue
Of
reading
course. Yeah.
the chats. But quick story. So after one night, well, it was the first time that I went to Habana. I went in the cab and my phone had fell out my pocket, and so so like I tell the driver to stop the car, and I'm looking for the phone, and now he did some scumbag shit because like he ended up driving off on me. But you know what I mean? But like
Right.
that was the only thing that I experienced, But I figured like, I have this nice phone, and he's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity. He's not gonna be able to find me. So
Right.
yeah.
Hey, quick question. I just want to make sure the camera's on me, sir, right?
Yeah. The camera's on
Okay,
you.
perfect. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're all good. You're all good. You can also take a boat. It's not far from the Florida Keys. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. It's good to know.
No, they have Trump in office. You might not be able to.
Well, I mean,
you
you never know.
yeah.
And then Tim Howard says if you don't have Wi-Fi, you are fucked. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the internet.
man.
Yeah, the internet.
That's another thing, man. I couldn't watch nothing. No net. It was brutal, man. Oh,
yeah,
man.
the internet. Yeah. The internet is definitely like, a pain point, especially for us content creators, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's why, like, Flyboy was trying to go live. I'm like, bro, the live is gonna be choppy. I said, listen, just do all pre-recorded content, and then just drop it when we get back. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just drop it when we get back. Let's see. You got to go where the folks be playing. If you're picky about, oh yeah, absolutely. If you're picky about the food there, yeah. Well, what I realized is like you got to go to like the like the higher end restaurants, and they're not expensive. But you got to go to the higher end restaurants where like they actually will have like hot sauce. They will have ketchup and stuff like that. You got to go to the higher end restaurants. Let's see. Tim Howard says, Cuba is extremely cheap, even the food. Yeah. Cuba is not American friendly, U.S. friendly. Yeah, definitely is not. Definitely is not. No, not when you see that. I'm telling you, man. Like I ask whoever you was in Cuba with, like they had signs on the front. And it literally said, no U.S., no United States. Um, Hotels got safes, or at least somewhere where you can put your belongings safely. I don't know if you're talking about Cuba or this may have been Czech Republic. I'm not sure, but um,
Czech Republic is very safe.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, he asked, did you hook up with anybody in Iceland? I don't think so. He was only there for like 10 hours. So
And I was only there for the day. Yeah.
yeah,
But if I was there for like a week, definitely.
yeah, gotcha.
Hmm. Definitely.
Gotta hit up the dives in places like Iceland if you're a drinker.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
They
like the
love to drink
dive
there.
bars. Yeah.
Yeah. Iceland's lit, man. Iceland's lit.
Yep.
Hmm.
Speaking of Swiss, Tina Turner became a resident there. Well, I mean, shoot, she must have had some money. She must have had some freaking money.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to my man QB Passport Flexing. All do me a favor. Make sure that you do like and subscribe to my man QB Passport Flexing. Hey, Tim Howard, do me a solid and drop the link to my man QB Passport Flexing channel. Definitely, that's my dude right there. He's talking about he said hostels, not hotels. Sorry about that. He was asking, do hostels have safes? Well,
Private rooms do.
yes, yeah. So like, yeah,
Mhm.
like the one that Flyboy and I were at in Isla Mujeres, it was pretty much like a hotel. You know what I mean? Because like, I had my own private bathroom, my own room. You know, I mean, honestly, like
Well, the hostels have locks. Like they have like lockers.
yeah, see, no, yeah, yeah, but for the one in Isla Mujeres, like we had like a safe. It was pretty much like a hotel. It's just a glorified. It was a souped up hostel. It was a hotel,
Hmm.
but it was called a hostel. I guess because like it wasn't the same price as like a hotel. I guess in that area, but it was really really nice, man. It was really
Hmm.
really nice. Okay, so all right, now you guys go back to Germany, right?
Yeah,
From being
and
in
we drove to
Switzerland.
and we drove to Berlin from Frankfurt. Took
Yeah.
about 5.5 hours to get to Berlin.
Okay, gotcha.
Berlin is really nice. It's more artsy, more has that like historical feel to it. It's not like
Okay.
Frankfurt's more modern. Like it has like like obviously like Frankfurt has all the condos there, like new buildings
Right,
and
right,
stuff
right.
like that. But Berlin, still has that like that beautiful architect that like people want to see, like with those historical buildings, the Berlin Wall. I
Right.
went
Yep.
to like couple of Holocaust museums, Holocaust grave sites and stuff like that. Had some Chinese food there. Ate some street food. Berlin's nice, yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool.
But the nightlife in Frankfurt was really nice.
Yeah.
Had a great time. I went to a couple of clubs there. Um, Man, the red light district in Frankfurt is disgusting though. Yeah. It was like really,
Really?
yeah, we met this Jamaican dude. That was like our tour guide for the night.
Yeah.
And then when he brought us onto the red light district, there was like literally drug addicts everywhere. I've never been on a street with so many drug addicts. And the
Wow.
police just sit there and let them do their drugs.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I'm 110% positive.
Wow.
I was gonna film it, but my homeboy told me don't exploit them like that. Just you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm like, okay, I won't film them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man. Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's really, really sad, man.
Yeah, those crack
That's,
pipes everywhere, needles everywhere.
wow.
Yeah, I've never seen a red light district like that before. It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's
Hmm.
that's unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
All right. So
But I just want to recommend a hostel in Amsterdam. If you guys ever go to Amsterdam,
yeah.
make sure you go to Honks Brinker. So Honks Brinker is like one of the best hostels I've ever. So it's a hotel, and they have like shared rooms and stuff like that, bunk beds, and
Yeah.
they have a buffet. That's what I love about this like hostel. They have a breakfast buffet, they have a lunch buffet, and they
Right.
have a nightclub, a huge nightclub in the basement.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of Amsterdam, why don't you tell me about your experience there?
Best time of my life. As soon as I got there, I went straight to Mike Tyson's coffee shop. As soon as I got there, man, yeah.
He said, I'm getting that weed now.
Oh, right now, yeah. I was at the airport and I got into my taxi and I told the driver, bring me to Mike Tyson's coffee shop. He told me it's not open yet. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, all right.
He's like, I'll wait outside.
Yeah. So I checked into my hostel. And then after, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go now. And it was good, man. I smoked some good Cali weed. Oh, man.
Yeah.
The
Nice,
food is
man.
good. So I had my Cali weed. Then I went to this Dutch burger spot called Lombardo's.
Mhm.
I had a Dutch Philly cheesesteak. And later on that night, I met up with a free tour guide that, you just tipped him at the end of the night. I gave him like a $40 tip. And he brought me everywhere. He brought me to the Dam Square. He brought me to the Red Light District. Brought me everywhere, man. Met a bunch of people. Did a canal boat tour.
Mhm.
Really, really nice. I didn't get a chance to do the Heineken tour.
Yeah.
But the next time I go back, I'm definitely going to do the Heineken tour.
Nice.
I met so many beautiful women from all over the world. Australia, Germany, Canada, Ireland, freaking New Jersey. Like, man, there's so much women there.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
man. Yeah, absolutely, man. And
Mhm.
Amsterdam is one of those ones, man, for sure.
Yeah. I say
Now-
Amsterdam is the best country to go to in Europe. If you guys like to party, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're saying like for like the nightlife scene, Amsterdam is the best.
Oh man,
in
you know
Europe.
what? Okay, Amsterdam and Lisbon, Portugal, neck to neck. Because when I was in Lisbon, Portugal, I went to Pink Street, and Pink Street is crazy. It's kind of like I've never been to Thailand, but it has that similar vibe where they close off the streets and they have like walking streets.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I actually did a video on that. I did a crazy nightlife in Lisbon, Portugal, Pink Street.
Yeah.
And like the streets are painted pink, and it's just like bars and clubs and strip clubs and everything, like all on different little streets, right?
Yeah.
And people are partying, and it's crazy. Went to a really nice reggae club down there. It was really nice in Lisbon, Portugal. So I would say Lisbon, Portugal, Amsterdam are the two best European countries to go party and have fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Okay, so you said that you have been to 17 countries in total, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now out of the 17.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so out of the 17, pick your top. Let's go with top 5. Pick your top 5 and explain. Actually, you know what? Let's go with top 3. So pick your top 3 and then explain why they're your top 3.
Okay, so I would say, shout out to my Dominicans. I love you all. You guys are my family, but don't get mad. But like, I would say my first favorite country would be Amsterdam. Yeah, Amsterdam, because I had so much fun.
Damn,
Amsterdam,
man,
because
that coffee shop got you hooked.
yeah, because I've never ever really experienced that before. Everybody is like super laid back. It's like, environmentally like friendly, you know what I mean? Like it's like everybody's riding their bicycle, walking everywhere. The food was good, the people are very friendly. Like it was really, and very safe, very, very safe. And then I would say my second favorite country would be so that's the thing. Okay, if it's for women, I would say my first favorite country for women would be Colombia. I was in Medellin, and I had the best time of my life there, obviously. Yeah. And then second would be Santiago, Dominican Republic. And then the third would be for women. The third would be to London, England.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's for women. Now for like fun,
Yeah.
Amsterdam, number one.
Okay.
Lisbon, Portugal, number two, and then number three would be I would say number three would be man, it's a tie between Mexico and Panama City. Because this
Okay.
year, yeah, I was in Panama City this year. Panama City was lots of fun.
Yeah.
So this year
absolutely.
I was in the Dominican Republic, Colombia, Mexico. I went to Cancun, Mexico. I didn't like it. And then Jamaica and then Panama City. Yeah. So I did 5 countries this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Kudos to you. So, all right. So let's talk about, so let's talk about the ladies here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now I know that you and I we've spoken last week, and I think I did tell you that I have a property in Medellin, Colombia, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So my question to you, you mentioned like, Colombia is like, dating and things of that sort. So tell me about your experience dating.
So I wasn't in Colombia long enough to actually, get that dating experience, but I
Okay.
did date a girl in the Dominican Republic, and that was
Okay.
a good dating experience. Yeah, it was really nice. She fed me. she yeah, she was really cool with me. Yeah, I didn't feel a way walking around with her with my shirt off. You know what I mean? And then what I loved about it is like when we're chilling in El Congo, as soon as I start busting a sweat because it's so hot there, I
Yeah.
don't even have to ask her. She'll just start like she'll come by and like bring me a napkin and like dab my forehead for me like I'm a boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. It's not like down here where I'm like, hey babe, can you get me a napkin? I'm sweating. Why didn't you bring your rag with you? You know what I mean? Why are you arguing with me? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah,
Uh-oh.
But down
Yeah.
there, man, she treated me like a boss. But I would
Yeah.
say for Colombia,
Yeah.
similar, like, like the women are like Dominican. Colombian women are like Dominican women. Like I would say overall, Latin women, like they're very like feminine. You know what I mean? Like they're yeah, they are sexy, they have this nice like sex appeal to them, you know what I mean? They're very fit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wish I was actually in Colombia longer so I could get that like, that dating experience. But I had a friend that came with me, and he was talking to a girl online that lived in Cali, and he actually flew her and her friends into Medellin. So we were actually hanging out with this girl and her friends, and then we met some other girls. And then after, I would say 4 or 5 days into our trip, we all flew back to Cali. So I was able to experience Medellin and Cali. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now for me, like I'm a Medellin guy, but I also like Cali as well. So in your opinion, what would you say is the best about Medellin and what's the best about Cali?
Oh man, what I love about Medellin is that the food is like the food is like dirt cheap. And so what I like about Cali is that you can meet like more of like a wholesome girl in Cali than in Medellin. Well, I can't say it for all of Medellin, but the area that we were staying in is by that park where all the pros hang out.
Okay. So
So
yeah,
it
so
was
okay.
it
Yeah,
was very it
yeah.
was weird. It was weird for me because what happened was like when I was there, when was that? In I was there in April. I was there like April. I was there in May, April. And some dude, and this is one thing I don't like when people think it's like passport bros trying to pick up young things. You know what I mean? And come to find out, my homie that owns a restaurant there was telling me that it was a Caucasian person that was hollering at like that got caught with young things at his Airbnb. It wasn't no black. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what ended up happening now is that park had a curfew on it, right? So they kick everybody out the park at like 1 a.m.
Yep.
So now I'm chilling in front of my homeboy's restaurant, and can't remember the name of his restaurant, but it's like an Indian Pakistani restaurant.
Okay.
And the streets are flooded with pros everywhere. So you don't know who's not a pro. You know what I mean, right?
Right.
Yeah. So like, thank God that like, I was able to like meet women like that work at restaurants and bars. Like I would think that they're not pros, but I don't know, right? Because when I was in Sasua, I went to this Jamaican restaurant in Sasua, and I thought I picked up the waitress, and then she called me later on that night and said, "Hey, can I come over and give you a massage?" And I'm like, "Massage?" I'm like, "Professional massage?" And she starts laughing. I said, "Professional massage?" And she starts laughing, and I'm like, "Damn it, man! I thought you were normal." And I just hung up on her. I just hung up on her, man. You know what I mean? So Medellin, the Medellin, you don't really know who's a pro or not a pro. I don't know, right?
Yeah. Well, what I would say is, so like I've been going to Medellin since really like 2000. So kind of going
24 years ago.
No. I meant to say 2020. Sorry about that.
Oh,
no.
Damn. Okay, yeah.
No. Yeah, sorry, I said that wrong. Yeah, so 2020. But yeah, so like it's going on 2025. Yeah, so like I've been going in for a while, and what I would say is, because if you're meeting like a woman around Parque Edis area, I just wouldn't go for it. I just wouldn't go for it because like that area is just so tainted, man. But the thing is, like where my property is, like it's actually like 2 blocks from there. So but like I keep that property there because like I rent it out, and I have a lot of people, I have a lot of people who rent that out, and it's also near, like it's near everything. It's you have restaurants like literally across the street. You got the pharmacy where you can get toiletries up the street. There's a coffee shop literally right downstairs.
Right.
There's a liquor store. There's a liquor store right up the block. I mean, everything is like whatever you need is literally like right there. But like, I would say maybe like if you were talking to like a bartender or something like that, it could be a possibility that maybe she's not doing that. But but like,
but you never know, right?
Yeah, no, you just never know. But what I would say is like probably like Itagüí. Itagüí is a good area to meet like good quality woman. In the south, like Sabaneta is a good area. So like those are areas where you can meet quality women. But like
so when I was in Medellin, I went to one area called Comuna 13.
Comuna 13, yep.
Yeah, I was there. I was at Comuna 13. Then after the girls that we were with, they brought us to an area called Plobita Paisa. Is it Plobita Paisa?
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought us to a little small town called Plobita Paisa. And then we ordered that food, Pendejo Paisa. Was it
Pendejo Paisa.
Yeah, Pendejo Paisa, that pork and egg.
Yeah.
So thank God we actually.
It doesn't necessarily have to have pork in it. You could put like whatever like in it because
okay.
Yeah, because my ex, she used to make that for me, but I don't eat pork, so she would put like like chicken in it or whatever.
Oh, nice, yeah. So thank God we were with those girls from Cali because they brought us to areas that like we wouldn't have known of. They even brought us to a nightclub. And again, like my homeboy, there was so many beautiful women at this nightclub. So my homeboy picked up 2 chicks, and he was trying to pick up 2 chicks. And the girls were like, "Hey, man, we're working." And my homeboy came up to me and was like, "Dude, they're even in here in the clubs."
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's like, "They're even in the clubs." I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you don't know.
yeah.
You don't know where they. Yeah, it's just too much. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah, so like because they have like so they have like different so they have like different sections of Medellin, and they call like the different sections, they call them like estratos, right? So like
Yeah.
1 through 6, 1 being like you in the hood, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then 6 is the best. So like Poblado by Parque Eres, like that's that's like 5, 6. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a prominent area, but the reason why you have a lot of like the working ladies is because a lot of tourists like to stay over there. So
Right.
and then what they'll do is they'll go into the bars and the nightclubs because like they don't have to be on the street, but
Okay.
yeah, but like you can tell, like by what they're wearing. At least
Mm-hmm.
your boy, like
Yeah.
like he should be able to tell like by what they're wearing, like like if she's wearing something that's just like
Really
just
revealing then.
yeah, just like way
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
revealing. Now don't get me wrong, like Latinas like to they like to dress sexy and with the curves, but
Mm-hmm.
it's sexy and classy. But if it's like basically like her skirt is so short, like if she
Mm-hmm.
bent over, like you could see whatever hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she's trying to she's trying to get you to come off that dollar.
Yeah. I was actually gonna go there by myself this year, but
Uh,
my homeboy.
hit me up, I got
Okay,
you.
I was gonna say because my homeboy was like, okay, I'll come with you. My buddy who works for Air Canada is like, I'll come with you. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. But when I was there now, right? I get like mixed messages, right? So the first night I was there, we were walking around that club district not too far from that park where all the clubs and bars are?
Yes,
It's like
absolutely.
yeah, so it was raining out, and then like my boy was like, bro, like out of nowhere, all these women surrounded me. They put the umbrella over me, and my boy was like videotaped, like, bro, like you're like Rick Ross right now. These women are showing you mad love. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I felt like a boss at that moment. And then yeah, like I was actually saying to myself, like, yeah, you know what? Like I'm blind. Like I don't think these people would like rob a blind person, you know what I mean, or drug a blind person, right? But
Yeah.
the more stories I hear, and the more I hear that people are desperate down there for money and stuff like that, I think if I was there long enough, I would get taken advantage of for sure.
Yeah, I
But I
mean,
was only there for like a week, right? So
yeah.
I probably dodged a bullet, right?
Well, what I would say is this: like, you just gotta make sure that you surround yourself with the right people. Yes, they are people who are desperate. They are people who are really reeling from the pandemic because,
Mm-hmm.
but that does not give them an excuse to drug people and stuff like that. But what I would say is like if you hit me up and you say, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning on going such and such or whatever," like I would make arrangements and make sure that that you are taken care of. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Just yeah,
yeah.
just because like you just got to know like how to move and who to associate yourself with, like because
Right.
certain areas, and don't get me wrong, like you'll have a lot of fun there and stuff like that. I mean, and it's not just Medellin, like it's Colombia as a whole. So it's it could be in
Right.
Cali, it could be in Bogota, it can be in Cartagena, you know.
Because you want to be somewhere where, because the thing is, it's like, like the thing is like, if I would have went there by myself, I would have had my guard up the whole entire time. Like I would have been acting like I'm in the streets again.
Yeah,
And technically I don't want to be acting like I'm in the streets again, where, you
right.
know what I mean? Like if I order a drink, I'm going to put my hand over it the whole time, drink it
Yeah.
fast, and then put it down if I have to go use the bathroom, and then order another drink. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
don't want to be screwing up my face with people You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be talking with the patois. Like, my boy, you know, we all have Jamaican backgrounds, right? And
Yeah.
this guy was trying to come up to my friend and like touch the camera. My friend said, "Move your blood." Yo, the guy got scared. And my friend said, "Move your blood clot." The guy's like, "What?" The guy's like, "What?" Oh my god. So I noticed that they're scared of Jamaicans down there, man. They're scared of the patois.
You know what's interesting though.
Yeah.
No, but you want to know what's interesting? So they actually have a dance hall club. They actually have a dance hall club, but you know, it's right near Baylin. So like,
Okay.
yeah, where this nightclub is, like it is like towards the north. So like the north, like that's where you kind of get like close to the hood, right?
Right.
But the people there are really, really cool. You know what I mean? Like you would get a lot of
So
love
that's
over
the thing.
there.
Like, do you think they're really drugging people like that? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I felt more like paranoid in Jamaica, and I'm Jamaican than I did in Colombia because Kingston is
Yeah.
very aggressive. People
Oh,
are very
absolutely,
aggressive.
absolutely. Listen, man, we've already been on about 2 hours. If we start talking about Jamaica, listen, we'll be here until tomorrow morning. But yeah, but what I would say is that it's just that the guys who are meeting these women, they're also putting themselves in precarious situations, right? And what I mean by that is like this. So typically, what's happening with a lot of these guys, they're going on Tinder, and they'll meet they'll meet a woman, engage in conversation, and then the woman will come over to their hotel or Airbnb, right? And then the guy has like his laptop, he has all of like his important stuff there, right? But like if you were, like if you're out and about and you see, you meet a woman, typically you're not really trying to bring her like to your house. You would try to bring her like to the hotel or something like that because you don't know her. So I'm like, why don't guys take that same approach? So what I'm saying is like, or so like the woman would drug the guy. Another case is that the guy, same thing, like the guy meets the woman on Tinder. She says, "Hey, I got a friend, my cousin, whatever." Sends the picture, and the guy, he's super excited, right? Because he's like, well, she looks good, her friend looks good, and they want to come over and hang out, and they want to have drinks, and maybe I could order some food, we get fucked up, and I end up fucking both of them, right?
Right.
Yeah, and the thing is, the guy he starts drinking, loses his inhibition, takes his eye off the drink, and it only takes about 2 seconds for them to just pour the scopolamine in the drink, and next thing you know, you're knocked out, all of your shit is taken, and then you wake up.
See, that's sad because the thing is, like, for me, like, I'm not desperate for women like that because obviously, like, when I had my eyesight and obviously was living that street life, I used to get a lot of girls. Even after losing my eyesight, I still got women, like, you know what I mean? And like, that's one problem that I don't really have, right? So when I'm in like these countries, like I'm not like chasing women. I don't really need to. Like, there's a lot of countries that I've been to where I didn't hook up with no chick. I met women, but I didn't care to. I didn't hook up with nobody in Amsterdam, and Amsterdam has the largest red light district in Europe.
Right.
And I didn't hook up with nobody. You know what I mean? Don't really care.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sheldon, let me just keep it a beam with you, man.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just give a couple of shout outs. So Tim Howard says you got to learn how to move. You got to learn how to move. Shout out to my man Jay Short. He's actually in Medellin. He lives in Medellin now. He's an expat. But so what I'm gonna say, Sheldon, is that, and I actually said this earlier this week, but I want to hear what you think about this.
Yeah.
Because when you said that, you know, when you was when you was a dope boy doing your thing or whatever, like, you know, you was always used to being around chicks, getting chicks. And Toronto, as I mentioned, is a beautiful city. Like, there's a lot of beautiful women in Toronto. Like, seriously, I mean, fine women. Good Lord. I don't know why brothers aren't talking about Toronto, because Toronto. Anyway, listen, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but let me stay focused on a serious note. The thing is that a lot of guys are not used to being around beautiful women or getting attention from beautiful women. So, like, and the thing is, like, if they, you know, they're on their dating app on Tinder, and they may get a couple of, you know, they may get a couple of women that may, you know, swipe on them and things like that, you know, get a couple of matches, you know, but then you go to Colombia, you know, I'll say Medellin, you know, not specifically, but I'll just use Medellin as an example. So you fly over, and then your Tinder location switches to Medellin, and an hour later, you got about, like, you know, 150 to 200 women that swiped on you, and about 75 of these women are damn attractive. So,
of course,
so it's a dopamine effect, right? It's a dopamine effect, because it's like, you know, you get that bum rush. Because guys are used to, doesn't matter how you look as a guy, like, you know, every guy has dealt with rejection, you know, somehow, some way. But when you get this overwhelming, like, of women trying to choose you, it's like, holy shit, right? And
that's
so
true.
when the
That's
girl's
true.
saying, like,
That's
hey,
true.
you know, right, and then the girl is saying, like, hey, you know, like, let's link up. You know, you like, oh man, she's sexy. And then she sends a picture, you know, of her friend. Oh man, she's sexy too. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm about to fuck both of them. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be one of the greatest experiences. You know, and then you find out it is one of the greatest experiences, but, you know, it's the greatest experience of your life that you possibly could have lost. Understand what I just said?
I totally understand what you're saying. Like, when I was in the Dominican Republic with my homeboy, he brought me to Sasua.
Yeah.
And then he brought me to that, well, I don't know if it's open now, but he brought me to some hotel that had a pool, outside. It's called Ambi, where I guess where all the pros hang out, right?
Okay.
And when I was there with him, like, I was so overwhelmed. Like, there was like 80 women just like there, like by the bar, by the pool. And my homeboy was telling this one chick, like, hey, like, we don't really pay for that, right? So when we were leaving, two girls ran out. They're like, hey, like, where are you guys going, right? And then we're like, yo, we're not paying, right? Like, if you guys want to come back to the telly and chill and hang out and have some drinks and stuff, like, we can do that, right? And that's exactly what we did. I had my fun, you know what I mean? But yeah. And I just gave them a little piece of change to take a taxi back to the club, you know, but I really have to pay for anything. But that was my first experience, like, with like just being overwhelmed with all these women, right? But again, like, I was born in 76. I was born in 1976. So when I was a teenager, we literally had no choice but to go outside to pick up women. Remember, back then we had our pad and our pen. And we had to go to the food court, go to the mall. We had to go to the arcade, and we literally had to spit game to these women, write their phone number down. Remember, we didn't have cell phones back then, so we would literally be on the house phone with them for hours. So that's how, like, I was able to, like, get my game. You know what I mean? And then obviously, it's a different time now where, you know, obviously, like, it's probably even more overwhelming. So you're right. Yeah, it could be overwhelming for, I guess, a young man today doing that.
No, absolutely. I mean, you know, because the thing is, like, as you mentioned, I'm 85, so I'm an 85 baby.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have to go outside. We have to talk to a girl. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I'll be 40 in February. But, like, as you mentioned, like, you know, like, we, you know, go to the mall or whatever, and, you know, you would have to have a pen and pad, and, you know, and in order to get the woman's attention, you had to come up to her. You know, it wasn't on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever, where you just sent like a DM. No, you actually had to put in work. And I think that And I think that like for guys, who are, I would say like, mid to early 80s guys, and
Hmm.
beyond that, of course, you said you're 76. Like we understand what it's like to engage in conversation with women, because there are guys who have gotten so hooked to social media, they forget how to approach a woman and actually engage in conversation with women. So then when
Right.
you have all of when you have all of these women who are reaching out to you in abundance, like I said, like it's that dopamine rush because they're not used to it. A lot of guys nowadays, I think social media has helped, but also social media has also made some of these guys socially awkward, and they don't know how
I
to.
think it made a lot of them socially awkward because I'm not gonna lie to you, my brother. The
Yeah,
very first time I heard about Kevin Samuels was in 2022,
yeah,
and this is when he was talking to men, just around the time he started talking to women. And I remember watching him, and I'm saying to myself, I can't believe this guy really has to tell people to put on cologne and dress a certain way, like I don't, and get a haircut. I'm like, dudes don't know that already. You
yeah.
know what I mean, right? Because back in our days, like we had the cologne. Remember our Nautica cologne, Calvin Klein. We had the
Right.
colognes.
Yeah,
So
that
like,
Nautica. Yeah, hey, listen, that Nautica cologne was life, man.
yeah, man. We used to
Yeah,
wear
but
like our Tommy
you
Hilfiger and polo. Remember,
yeah.
guys? Like, you know what I mean? So
Well,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what ended up. We'll see what ended up happening. What ended up happening, Sheldon, was that like you have more of these like men, who are pretty much like son husbands,
yeah,
and they don't have like a strong male figure in their life. So like they don't know like what cologne to wear.
right.
They
That's
like,
sad.
yeah,
Yeah,
they don't really know how to like properly dress themselves. They don't know how to court a woman, come up to a woman, engage in conversation or anything like
right,
that.
right,
You know what I
right, right.
mean? And so the thing is, I'm not saying that
So
guys.
they're an easy lick any country they go to. Then
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
wow.
Because that's the thing. Like these, see, I had did this. Like I have this clip that I did, and
Hmm.
it's so basically like about a Western Union poppy, where and the like the woman would say, hey, like I need like my cell phone paid, or I need whatever bill paid, and she'll send like a picture saying like, oh, my aunt's in the hospital, my grandmother's in the hospital, and like she'll take a picture of like the fridge is completely empty, is bare,
Damn.
right?
Yeah.
And playing on bro's feelings, right? And it's just
Yeah.
like, and I'm just like, man, here
My
comes like,
homie told me that people are doing that. My homie was telling me if you see
yeah,
some of these girls in Santo Domingo, they're rocking the brand new iPhones, Louis
mhm,
Vuitton bags, and stuff like that. And I'm
yeah,
like, nah, I didn't want to believe it. And then it actually happened to my friend's brother,
yeah,
where he met a Dominican chick and he sent her $400,
oh god,
and yeah, my homeboy got vexed at the girl. He called his girlfriend and said, yo, how dare you, such and such, call my brother to ask for money, right? And then his girlfriend saying, yo, like, he wanted to give her money. And then my boy's like, but he hasn't even blazed the girl. Like, he didn't even hook up with the girl. Like, we didn't
yeah.
meet, like, and he was disappointed in his brother. And I'm even saying, like, your brother sent the girl 4 bills and he didn't even hook up with her? Like, geez, like,
Yeah,
it can't
yep.
be guys are doing this.
Yeah, I mean,
Weird.
yeah, like you'll have guys who will send a woman money like and hasn't even met her yet. I'm like, what is going on here?
That's what I mean. Yeah, like
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, really, really, really quick. Just want to give a shout out to Feminine Melanin University. Thank you so much for popping in. I definitely appreciate you watching. All right, and so I am older than you, faints. Yeah. I'm currently 39. It's all good though. Santika says it's true. Not all of us are struggling in the ladies department. Too many guys thirsty for lust. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, Bagging Tinder pros is not a flex. Absolutely, it is not a flex. No, you want to know what a flex is, man?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a flex is like when you know when you are able to actually have a woman really be attracted to your manhood, because the thing
Mm-hmm.
is like you can have all the money in the world, but you can still be a simp. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, that's facts.
You can have the deluxe apartment in the sky, moving on up to Jeffersons. You can have all that, right? But the thing about it is that if you're not a man who stands on business, she's not going to respect you, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's facts. And honestly, like, I don't really advocate for young men to hook up with pros when they go overseas. Like, if you want
Yeah,
to go have fun for the weekend, that's one thing. But to take a pro seriously, it's like you're not gonna, because the thing is, like, a lot of these young men are missing out on
mm,
that actual real girlfriend experience, not having to pay for the girlfriend experience. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, just like, like, okay, so when I was younger and obviously I was living that street life, I've
yeah,
hung out at strip clubs, I've hung out with pros, and I hooked up with them for drugs and stuff like that, right? And
mm-hmm.
the thing is, it's like the motions are not there. So I learned that from a long time ago, that like when you
Yeah,
link up with a pro, it's just a business transaction. You know what I mean? As soon as you're
absolutely.
done, they bounce. And then when they bounce, you may think, like, psychologically, you may be telling yourself, oh yeah, I had fun. But at the same time, it's like, like you're alone again. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
it's better if you actually meet somebody and actually, get an actual real girlfriend experience. Like, I advocate for men to actually try to meet a girl overseas. It's cheaper, when you take them on dates and stuff like that. And
Oh,
there's a lot
absolutely.
of
Yeah.
and there's a lot of good women in Colombia. There's a lot of good women in the Dominican Republic. You have to just go to, like what you were saying, certain areas. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
yeah,
that, yeah.
absolutely. Listen, right? The thing about it is like this, right? If you're going to, if you're going to like, McDonald's, Wendy's,
Hmm.
Burger King, and you're eating that, 3 times a day, and then
Hmm.
you expect to have a six pack, and then you get upset in 6 months, when you got six stomachs, that's on you. So
Right.
what I'm
Exactly.
saying is,
Exactly.
right. So what I'm saying is that when you're putting yourself going around these red light district areas and then
Right.
trying to look for a quality woman, that doesn't equate. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah, and
Right.
then
Facts.
yeah, absolutely. Hold on, let me just feminine melanin. She had a couple of comments, and I just wanted to hear your feedback on a couple of these.
Hmm.
So what ended up happening is fathers and other men in the family felt less to do with the mothers. I'm sure the mothers expressed notions of their smell. I'm not sure.
Well, actually, I can answer that. So, um, like 24 years ago, I remember
Yeah.
I was sitting down with a friend. Rest in peace to her. I was
Hmm.
sitting down with a friend, and I was going through a dry spell, and I said to her, like, hey, like, tell me, what is it that women really like about men? Like, is it, like, do I need to get that six pack and stuff like that? And she actually said to me that most women like a man that grooms themselves and smells good.
Absolutely.
I'm like, okay, right? So ever since she said that to me, I'm like, okay, boom. Anytime I take a trip to go to a country, I always get a haircut, dye my beard. I get some nice deodorant. I get some nice cologne. I get some fresh J's, whatever, clean shoes, clean clothes. And as soon as I splash that on, I go out. As soon as I walk into an establishment, women are coming up to me like, hey, are you completely blind? You smell good. You know what I mean? I start getting the
Mhm.
compliments, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, you have a better chance meeting, like a real, like, good woman if you just take care of yourself, and go to, like,
Absolutely.
spots where yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hold on. Let's see. Shout out to the men who said who send money because they want to. Especially over here, still a bit. Oh, it's talking about me. I'm still a baby. um, Shout out to the Simps. I love simple men. All right, she's trolling right now. um, Mama's been telling sons about their hygiene and smells for decades. Women have
Yep.
talked about their smell for decades, so don't say it's the mothers, women's fathers, and male family failed you all if you smell. So she's saying like the dads have failed. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
but if that was true, Kevin Samuels wouldn't have had a YouTube channel so successful.
yeah, I have
Like
to
this
agree with
whole,
that.
because I'm gonna be honest with you, like I've never heard about this red pill community until a few years ago. Because
Yeah.
like yeah, the whole red pill thing blew up what 2000 what 16, 17?
Um, yeah, well, I would say, yeah, about that time, she says, I am not trolling. I love Sims. Okay. All right. We're going to continue that conversation. No, but, well, yeah. So Kevin, yeah, because like before Kevin started speaking to the woman, I actually was watching him when I think he had about like 8 or 9,000 subscribers. So he hadn't even had 10,000 subscribers yet.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and he was just strictly talking to the men, and he was talking to the men about fashion, and he was talking to the men. And he was like, "Hey, listen, like like wipe your ass, like you know what I mean?"
I know some of these guys that called him. I'm like, come on, but this guy must be trolling. But they weren't trolling. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So he's like, wipe your ass, man.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
oh,
for
man.
sure, man, for sure. So let me ask you now. You've been to 17 plus countries, and what would you say it has been your most memorable dating experience, and why?
It was the Dominican Republic because the first time I went there, my homeboy Bruce that commented earlier,
Mm-hmm.
him and his girlfriend introduced me to her cousin,
Okay.
and her name was Angie. Shout out to Angie if she's watching this. And then yeah, we hit it off, and yeah, we started talking, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to go back too. So a month later, I went back, and then me and her were dating,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, and stuff like that. And I had a really good time dating her, and like that was the only time I really got like that real girlfriend experience in the country. I never really had that in any other country. When I was in Lisbon, Portugal, I met a Brazilian chick at a nightclub, and that was just like a one night stand, right? Like most other country, all the other countries were just like one night stands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dominican Republic, I got that girlfriend experience because like in Santiago, it's a
Mm-hmm.
bit, it's a smaller city than the Santo Domingo,
Right.
so you don't really have pros walking around in Santiago. It's like a
No.
hidden gem. Yeah,
No. Yes.
yeah,
Santiago is definitely a hidden gem. Like,
yeah,
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 it's like you're actually meeting like actual like local women who
yeah,
actually have jobs and things like that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And she
Because
really liked me too, right? So I was just like, wow, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
she really liked me. But when it comes to European countries, I would say the women showed me so much love
Yeah.
in London, England. But
Yeah.
but London, England is like Toronto. It's very like diverse. It's
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
yeah. I got a lot of love in Portugal. Got a lot of love in Amsterdam. But Czech Republic, I definitely got a lot of love in Czech Republic. Yeah, man. I actually linked up with this one chick that I met in Czech Republic from Manchester, but I wasn't allowed to bring her back to my hostel.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
And
So
it
like,
was 2:30 in
I
the
know.
morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
me and her were in an Uber, and I tried to get her to my hostel, and they're like, no. And then I asked her, I'm like, where are you staying? She goes, at a hostel.
oh,
And I'm like, okay, let me try to get I couldn't get a hotel at that time.
oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah, man. She was dope too, man. Blonde hair chick, really
Yeah,
dope. She was
yeah,
nobody, man. She was from Manchester, yeah, to the UK, yeah.
yeah. Absolutely,
Oh
man.
man, yeah,
Absolutely,
that would have been nice.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that I think that like it's good to know like when we get outside of like the touristy areas
Yeah.
because a lot of I don't want to say a lot, but there's a good portion of the guys as like they'll like say like, oh, there's no real chicks in Medellin, like they all want money. But I'm like,
Mhm.
most of you guys keep going around Parque Edis, so
But that's the
you know
thing.
what I'm saying?
Like my homeboy,
Yeah,
so my homeboy who flew his girl and her friends out from Cali to
yeah,
Medellin. I'm like, yo, she was drop dead gorgeous. Oh my
yeah,
god. You guys can see that she's actually in my thumbnail,
yeah,
in my Cali video that I did.
yeah.
Yeah, so he met her online
Mm-hmm.
like 10 months. So I'm like, hold on. I'm like, you were talking to this chick for 10 months? He said he was talking to her for 10 months. And then he got to meet her that first time when we all flew to Colombia. So he met her on Instagram.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, he met her on Instagram. They had a mutual friend.
okay,
And then he met her on Instagram. And she's such a good girl.
that's
Yeah,
good.
like definitely, like I would say if you just spend a little bit more time in Colombia, go to different areas, you can definitely meet some really, really good women. Yeah, especially in Cali. You got a really, really, really good women there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Cali for sure, man. Because the
yeah.
one thing I like about Cali is that they don't have like the red light district area. You know what I mean?
No, no,
Yeah.
no,
So
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. So like if guys, if you're trying to like yeah, like if you're thinking of like you know going to a red light district area, Cali's not that
Yeah.
for
One
you.
thing I didn't like about Cali is freaking hot there.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it is really
Yeah.
really hot. It is really really hot. I mean,
Mhm.
for me, like why Medellin is my favorite city is not only the infrastructure is modern, but
Yes.
also the weather is comfortable.
It's really,
The
yeah,
nickname the
yeah.
nickname is called the city of eternal spring.
Okay, okay, okay. And
Yeah.
the women are very, very beautiful there. Very beautiful.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely,
Because I remember
absolutely.
when I had my eyesight, I was
Yeah.
in love with that Colombian woman from Modern Family.
Okay.
What's the name again? Sofia the Guara or something like that.
The what? I'm sorry.
You know that Colombian woman from Modern Family? Sofia
Oh, what's her name?
Sofia Delgado, or I can't pronounce her last
Yes,
name.
I think it's Sofia Delgado.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
the Delgado. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember when I
yeah,
first started watching Modern Family.
yeah,
I gotta go to Colombia, man. God damn.
yeah.
Yeah, she was beautiful, man.
Now,
She was my
now
Colombian
we're
crush.
talking about Cali, Cali, Colombia.
Yeah,
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 no,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, feminine melanin. She thought I think she probably thought we were talking about California, but no,
Oh,
Cali.
okay, no, Cali, Colombia. Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
no, yeah, I
Mhm.
think that's important, man. Like, cause I just this is why I reference the fast food thing because like if you're expecting to lose 15 20 pounds whatever the case is but you keep going to the KFC, the McDonald's, the
Right,
Burger King,
right,
whatever the case is, and then you get upset in 3 months when you've actually gained 30 40 more pounds, you know what I mean?
right,
And,
right.
yeah, and then there's this stigma. There's a stigma on even Cartagena too. But the thing is, people keep going around the clock tower area. So it's
Right.
like, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so it's like, all right, why do you keep going to these areas thinking that you're gonna find a quality woman? That doesn't make
But that's
any
the
sense.
thing. Like, if you can't get a woman where you're from, then you're gonna have a hard time getting a woman overseas, unless you're just gonna mess around with pros.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I think what's important, man, is that like guys need to get outside of the tourist area. Like as you mentioned, like Santiago, like Dominican Republic.
Right.
I have a couple of my brothers who are retired military, and they live in Santiago, and they're in good relationships. I actually know one brother who lives in Santiago, and he's married. He's married over
Right. Right. Yeah.
married, has a kid, everything.
Yeah.
You know
See,
what I
the
mean?
perks of dating overseas is like, okay, so for an example, if you're
Mhm.
dating a woman here, she can be a 4 or a 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in Colombia, she's probably like a 2 or 3. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're dating a girl in Colombia, if she's here, she can be like an 8 or a 9 or a 10. You get
Right.
what I mean, right? But
Yep.
she don't know that though. That's the thing.
Right.
You know, you get what I'm saying? She don't know that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because the
Absolutely.
women down here, this is my experience. The women here in Toronto, the
Mm-hmm.
8s, the 9s, and the 10s,
Yeah.
they all love scammers and drug dealers and like pimps and stuff like that. You know what I mean? This successful people, people with money, right?
Really? Wait. So you're saying the 8, 9s, and 10s in Toronto, like they're like scammers?
Yeah, scammers, drug dealers, you know, dudes that drive nice cars, have nice places that can take them to like Ruth Chris and
Oh,
all
okay.
these, yeah, and
Yep.
splurge money on them. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
can
I
tell you
got
that
you.
because when I went blind, they all left. When I went blind and I moved to the hood, like you said, the hood.
Yes.
When I moved to the hood, yo, bro, man, they all left, man. Yo, listen. Last year, my friends took me to Red Lobster for my birthday, and I was just like, damn, I used to eat this every week. Now it's a treat to eat Red Lobster.
Right. Yeah.
And I used to go to Ruth Chris, I used to do these things
Yeah.
every week. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
now it's like, yeah, because like for an example, I took a girl on a date a couple of months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I brought her to this blind restaurant called Au Noir. I met her on Hinge. You know that dating site Hinge?
Yeah. Now Hinge is actually a pretty good dating app.
It is. It is. It is. So I met this beautiful black girl. She's actually from the Bahamas, and
Okay.
yeah. So I
Island
took her.
Gala.
Yeah. I took her out to that blind restaurant, and she had a great time. It was her birthday week. You know how these girls in here, they go, "It's my birthday week." You know what I mean? So
Birthday month.
yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's get some shots, right? So the waiter comes and she's like, "Do you have Patron or Don Julio?" I was like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Please say no. Please say no." And the waiter's like, "No, we don't have that. That's too, you know, we don't have Don Julio or Patron." I was like, "Thank you, Jesus." You know what I mean? And then she just got some regular cheap tequila, and the bill still came up to $220. And I
Wow.
was just like, damn. Yeah. So after she gave me a quick kiss, and then she said, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow for lunch?" I'm like, "Nothing. You want to go out?" She goes, "Yeah." I told her I noticed like taco restaurant we can go to. Took her to the taco restaurant. The bill came up to about $80. She didn't even budge. I'm like, okay. So I paid the bill again. What is that? 220, 80. That's 300 so
Yeah.
far.
You're at
Yeah,
300.
I'm at 300. The third date now, she calls me. She goes, "Hey, she calls me the day before her birthday. She goes, "Hey, tomorrow's my official birthday and I want to spend it with you." And I'm like, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah." I told her, "Well, I'll cook for you." She goes, "Cook for me?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'll make it special. I'll cook for you." She goes, "All right." So I went to the grocery store. I spent about $100 on groceries,
Oh
and
wow.
I cooked for her. Got her a bottle of wine, got some cupcakes, put a candle in it, and she came over. So right there's $400, and all I got was this like a makeout session with her. And then she's like, "Oh, we gotta take it slow, baby. We gotta take it slow." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's 4 bills gone, right?"
Yeah.
So as soon as she left the next day, I called my home and said, "Yo, I'm going to Colombia." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to Colombia." So when she saw me, like a few weeks later, I was in Colombia. She's commenting like, "Oh my God, you're in Colombia. Why didn't you tell me?" She's like, "You're
Yeah.
looking good, right?"
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Yeah." So when I got back from Colombia, she's like, "Hey, you want to hook up?" I'm like, "Hell no." I told her no. I'm like, "For what?" You know what I mean?
Oh
Yeah. I'm like, "There's no
man.
reason to, right? $400 down the drain.
Yeah.
That's a
I
plane
mean,
ticket."
yeah, that is a
And I
plane
don't
ticket.
sell drugs anymore. So like, what the heck? You know what I mean? I work for the money now, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Your
You gotta.
microphone's cracking a bit.
Yours is that. That's not mine though.
Oh, it's mine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's yours.
Are you sure?
Yeah. That's your microphone. Check, 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 check. Yeah, no, I sound fine. All right. Well, while Sheldon is testing his audio, let me read. Okay. Oh, well, wow. You got a couple of wow. Hold on. Let me see. Where did we leave off at? Oh, yeah. I saw that. I saw that too. Kevin Samuels. He didn't fall and smell. Oh, he didn't fail and smell. Just being real. He was once returning cologne and lit candles after he did a video and didn't have fairly white teeth. I mean, listen, Kevin Samuels definitely helped out men when it came to their hygiene and colognes and stuff like that. For sure. I mean, yeah, like I actually bought like some colognes that I wasn't even privy to after watching Kevin Samuels. Young sir, why would you have on dark shades in the house? Oh, the reason why. So feminine melanin, you're late coming in here, but Sheldon is actually legally blind. So he's blind. That's why he has the shades on. So that's why. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate you on that. Okay, that's cool. Let's see. Callie had. Oh, okay, yeah, mentioned that. Guys usually tell me I'm pretty. Oh, yeah. Oh, I reminded to hear the intro. Come back to the beginning here in the Cali comment. Got it. They can do that in America. Get out of the wrong areas looking for the right woman and also have yourself right for those women you want. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Birthday year. Why would she budge? $100 on groceries is easy to spend. It is. It is these days. Inflation is crazy. They are getting us at the grocery store. They are getting us at the grocery store. This is wild work. Sheldon, you're back. Okay.
My battery died.
Oh,
so I'm like,
you're all good, man. You're all good, man. I'm just I'm just reading a couple of these comments, man. But
okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. You thought you were getting sex fast because you spent money on dates. That was in reference to you, Sheldon.
Oh, say it again.
Because of what you had spent.
Yeah,
I think you said you had spent like 500.
400. Yeah, I spent 400 thinking because that. Okay, like I'm old school, right? So usually when you take a girl out on a third date, that means you're gonna hook up.
Typically, yes.
Yeah, and she is just like, no, I want to take it slow, and I wasn't really that interested in her. Where I want like some type of long-term relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just, I mean,
like, you get what I'm saying. Like, I was bit like, dude, I'm a perfect gentleman, and let me show you something. Women, like a lot of women today, actually hook up with dudes before they even go on dates with them. That whole Netflix and chill thing, right? Like, for example, when I was in Iceland, there's like in their culture in Iceland, the women, you can Google this, the women hook up with the men before they go on dates with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, it all depends on like where you are, because like you know, because like certain countries are more like, you know, conservative, like like Colombia for an example. And I'm talking about like a regular quality woman.
Right.
You know, they're typically gonna wait maybe until like the, you know, the second date, or you know, maybe the third date, and then
Right.
you know, right, then things will happen. Now I know in Brazil, again, I'm not saying all Brazilian women, but like Brazil, like it can happen like the same night. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, but like there's a 3-date rule. You know what I mean? Like what am
yeah,
I going to be doing? Like continue to take this girl out on dates and spending money? You know?
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
You know? Like when I was in the Dominican Republic, when my homeboy's girlfriend introduced me to her cousin, it was so simple. We just
yeah,
went to the grocery store, bought some food. We all cooked together. You know what I mean? Later on
yeah,
that night, one thing led to another. And yeah, I had the best time of my life. She fed me. You know what I mean? Hung out with her every day. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think, well, you know, and I think that this is not necessarily the only reason, but I think like this is part of the reason. I think the main reason, and this needs to be talked about a lot more, why guys and some women are actually becoming expats, is due to the economy. Like as you mentioned, like, you know, just like inflation, like, you know, and everyone is feeling the inflation, man. It's just crazy. Like, you know,
Right.
you say you spent $400, like that's crazy. You know what I mean?
No,
Like even if
exactly.
yeah, yeah, like even if you have it, like that's just crazy. But
No, exactly.
I know that a lot of people, like I know that a lot of people are you know, becoming expats because it's like, you know what, I make so much, you know, I make pretty, you know, a pretty good amount of money,
Yeah.
but like I'm not getting the bang for my buck here, so why don't I
No,
go to
exactly. Like for an example, when I was in Medellin, I realized I'm like, man, if I was actually dating a girl out here, I can get the, you know, my bang for my buck and have the best experience of my life. I went to a 5-star steakhouse place and I paid $7.50 Canadian for a steak,
Mhm. Yeah,
coconut rice, salad,
yeah,
and that cheese soup. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yep,
Really, really good food there,
yep,
right? It's
absolutely,
not like here where you're spending like, well, how much you spending at Ruth Chris? At least 250, 300 for two people.
yeah, at least. um yeah, I mean, you know, and it also depends on where the Ruth Chris is, because that could be you know, you know, we could be talking what, like Ruth Chris in Miami, you know, Miami,
Oh,
New
that's even
York.
more money. Oh my God.
Yeah, so we're talking probably like anywhere, you know, it could be like 4 or 5.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And
Yeah,
that's if you get the house wine. Like
man, listen.
never mind her saying, let me get this bottle of wine. It could be 1,000, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, so when it comes to the dating aspect, but like this is why brothers are, you know, not, I can't say brothers, I gotta say men, because it's not
Mm.
just black men, but it's you know, men are just saying like, man, like this is just, the dating experience is just too expensive. It's just too expensive.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. But listen, you know, I don't want this phone to die either, man. I don't want this phone
Yeah,
to
man, we
die.
could wrap this up now. How long we been on for? Like about a couple of hours?
Yeah, so about 2.5, man. Two and a
Okay, this was
half
a
hours.
great experience, my brother. I just want to thank you
Yeah,
so much for allowing me to, express myself on your platform.
yeah,
And my advice to female travelers and male travelers, don't be afraid to face your fears. Yeah, man, try and, experience a country by yourself. One of the reasons why I advocate and I amplify my voice for people to travel alone, because you're going to meet more people when you're alone, right? Like when I'm with my friends, sometimes, women especially can be intimidated to come up to you. But when I went to Cuba by myself, I went for breakfast by myself, and a woman came up to me and she introduced herself to me. and she was like so cool. I actually saw her today at where I was working. I work at the liquor store. I saw her today, and she bought me a bottle of German champagne. That same girl I met in 2022 in Cuba. I saw her today, and she bought me a bottle of champagne. Travel alone,
Wow.
man. Yeah.
Wow, man. And then so two quick questions that I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
First thing is, for 2025, what destinations are you looking at and why?
Ooh-wee. Okay. So remember I told you guys earlier in this stream that my buddy Fernando just moved to Belgrade, Serbia? Yeah, guys. So my next trip is going to be Belgrade. But while I'm there, I'm going to stop in Poland first. And then after Poland, I'm going to head over to Belgrade, Serbia.
Yes. Yeah. When are you going to Belgrade? Because I actually want to go there.
I'm going at the end of January. As soon as I'm done work. As soon as I'm done work, I'm gonna book my ticket next week, or in the next couple of weeks. I'm booking my ticket. So I'm gonna go end of January, first week of February.
My birthday is the first week of February, man.
So what are your plans?
Well, so for February, I'll be in Colombia, and then I think Flyboy and I we're gonna either do Asia or we're gonna go to Africa.
Okay, I was actually gonna do Thailand in January, but when I checked the prices a couple of days ago, whew, $1,600 to fly to Thailand right now from Canada, from Toronto.
It's what?
$1,600.
Wow.
And that's the cheapest flight. It can go up to 2,000 right now, and that's without my suitcase. 1,600 without my suitcase.
Yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right. So you're going to Belgrade, Serbia, and what else?
Then after, I want to go back to Colombia, and I want to link up with you.
Okay.
I also have another friend that's going to be there in January. I don't know if you ever heard of Ulysses Traveler.
Oh yeah, I know Ulysses. Yeah.
Yeah, I was with him in Panama.
Yeah. He's cool.
Yeah, he's mad cool. Yeah. So he's going to be there in January until April. So as soon as I get back from Belgrade, I'm going to hit you up, and I'm down to go to. How long are you going to be in Colombia for?
Well, so when I go for February, it's just going to be a week. So for my birthday.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so my birthday is February 7th, so I will be there from February 5th until I think February 12th, and then yeah. So I'll
so quick question.
Yeah.
Because I'll be coming back. Obviously, like I'm only gonna go to Belgrade for this maybe 10 days. So do you want to plan something for May? Because that's gonna be my next so I'm gonna travel again in May, but I don't know which country. But which country do you think that you would head to in May? And I can meet up with you there.
It would really depend on when in May, because it would have to be at the very beginning, because my son's birthday is towards the end of May. So because my son will be turning 11. So it would have to be at the beginning of May. But I would say if I
what about April?
April, I'm actually pretty good to go. Yeah, so I gotta get with Flyboy and see, because I know right now we're talking about either Asia or some part of Africa, But yeah, we'll talk offline about it.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll absolutely talk offline about it, and then
Okay.
Yeah, but my last question to you.
Yes, sir.
Is what would you say to people who may have some of the challenges is as far as maybe being being blind, right? Maybe having but maybe maybe being blind, maybe they possibly could be deaf, maybe whatever fears, what would you say to these people?
So
go ahead.
So I would say the past couple of years I had a lot of people from around the world message me and most of these people have some sort of like disability. Like I met a gentleman that had a stroke. I met another gentleman that has like kidney issues, and also met another gentleman that has epilepsy. Right, so I was able to motivate a friend that's a quadriplegic, and he went with me to Panama City and also Mexico, and he's paralyzed from the neck down. He can barely move, and he had the best time of his life, right? So I would just say, just to get your feet wet. You don't really have to worry about being in danger if you say you take an all-inclusive trip to, Mexico. It's cheap too, or even to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. Like if you, yeah, to get your feet wet, whatever it is that you're going through, just, face your fears. Don't be afraid. Fly to a nice all-inclusive resort. You can get some really good deals on like Expedia and Skyscanner and these websites, and or even go check out a travel agency, get your feet wet, and go to a resort and just see how you feel, and or even like like to take a trip, like in the city that you live in, like or like I don't know, like whatever country that you're in, like like 15 years ago. I had a friend that owned a bar called Up and Down. It's like a martini lounge. And he told me how he met most of his customers is that he would go to hotel bars by himself and just sit down and meet people and talk to people at hotel bars. So this actually all started for me because I actually took his advice, and I would actually I would actually drive or take a taxi to like a hotel bar, sit down at the hotel bar and just talk and meet people, kind of get, what I mean? Comfortable, just get into like meet, strange people. Right. And then from that helped me to, travel to all these countries that I've been to, you know what I mean? Yeah. Face your fears, get your feet wet, start off, in your country, go camping, take a day trip. Like, here in Toronto, we usually go like to Muskoka to go camping, or Niagara Falls, Montreal. Like just start in your city. And then I always suggest to people, like if it's your first time traveling, go to the Dominican Republic. You'll have the best time of your life, and it's safe. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Let me tell you, man. I hope everyone here who is watching now and who will watch this, later, or whenever they wake up, because I know right now on the East Coast it's 1 a.m. so it's past my bedtime too. But
Yeah.
yeah, but just wanted to get just wanted to let you know, man, like you are an inspiration to
Thank you, brother.
people. You know what I mean? And I would say no one should have any excuses. Like this man is blind and he's traveling around the world. He's been to 17 plus countries, going on 18, in about a month. You know what I mean? And he's going to keep going and keep going, man. So, just keep doing the work, keep inspiring, man, because,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's what you're doing is necessary, man. And, and may God bless you, man. I really mean that, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. May God bless you too, my brother. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, and
Yeah, you're done already, rude boy.
Yes,
Make
sir,
everyone
man.
subscribe
Yes,
to
sir,
Sheldon the Blind Traveller.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Bless up, brother.
Bless. All right. One love.
One.
Yes. All right.
Massive. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely appreciate it. And I'm glad that I ended it right there, because my laptop is actually about to die. So, and if my thing dies, I would have to wait to come back, and I don't want to do all that. So, but all of y'all, I really appreciate you watching tonight, man. Thank you so much. I will be back with the live tomorrow. So I can't wait for that one tomorrow. And I'll probably do another one Friday, man. So I'm probably going to be live, at least 5 days this week. But I really appreciate you watching. My name is Kings and Dreams. Definitely appreciate you. Peace and love. Stay on your purpose. Stay purposeful. And I'm out. Peace.